as long as nothing's completely broken, they
Can
should
they
be
hear
able
us?
to hear
Can they
us.
hear us? Can they hear us?
It looks like it. Yay! This time
that a
the
confirmation?
settings preserved.
Woo! It didn't reset on us. That's one technical
And I've restarted my
difficulty we didn't
computer.
have.
Normally, every time I restart my computer, it breaks OBS.
Well, sorry about the delayed start, guys. We had several technical difficulties, but we are here for, what is it, session 40? 40 of the Misfit Warriors campaign. We are 10 away from where the heist campaign went off. We're catching up, guys. But hello, this is Matt Disaster. I am Brian Creevy, the DM Disaster Master here. And what's so funny? Gonna laugh at me? Okay, well, how about this? We're gonna start introducing ourselves with the newest person joining the crew.
Oh, dear God.
You
What
were
do I say?
murdering her
Introduce
crew.
yourself.
I'm Sam, and I'm playing a character named Illyria that you don't know much about yet.
Well, thank you. And moving over to, I think I have to point this way to see the wizard with all of the issues.
What up, guys? I am Andrew. I am playing Oliver Evangrove, everyone's favorite portal wizard with daddy and also mommy issues.
And girlfriend issues, and abandonment issues, and God issues.
Just issues.
Just a lot of issues. All right, and coming in on the opposite side, we have the tech paladin of our group.
I am Conlon. Today I'm playing Bracket. I may look like I'm spacing into the world, a different world. It's only because I have severe back spasms today, and maybe I might zone out. I'll try not to pass out.
Keep the back spasms in the real world, and then just like transport yourself into
Well, the
world
problem
of
is I
that
need to
world.
control OBS in the real world.
That's fair.
I need to run the stream.
OBS don't break, okay?
Yeah, I don't got energy and bandwidth for too much shit to go wrong. So, signing in to get my character sheet was already a pain in the ass with no apparent reason.
Down in, I think I have to point to this corner, we have the true hunter of nature over here. And the note taker.
Hello. Hi, I'm Vic. I am playing Knock. They are a halfling ranger and druid now. And I'm gonna maybe drown. We'll see.
What an interesting way to start the session this is going to be.
Yeah, it's fun.
And last but not least, we have chaos always blowing in on the breeze down in that corner.
Hey, I'm Callum. I'm playing Yamakasi. And I do actually have a different ask now, Brian, for you to consider.
Sure.
If I get within range and cast Water Walk, the end of that spell says if you target a creature submerged in a liquid, the spell carries the target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per round. Could I conceivably make... Yeah. Could I make knock float to the edge of the watery sphere if they fail?
You will have to see and try to find out.
Love it. All right. Well, that sounds a lot more promising than it's not freestanding, so no.
That's hard no.
But
sorry, we gave you 2 no's on rule answers.
This is our crew for tonight's session. I don't have really any announcements other than this is the last week of me being in my 20s, and thank you guys all for coming and joining me for this last hoorah.
Welcome to being 30, asshole.
I haven't processed it yet.
Happy birth.
Happy almost birth. Well,
Happy almost birth.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say before we dive in?
Happy anniversary to the worst week of your mom's life. The last week of having you inside of her. I'm not wrong.
Oh my god.
That was rude.
That's one way to look at it.
Realistically, have you ever been around a pregnant woman? Because that was absolutely fact.
I know. Like, based on any of my friends who've had kids, they've been like, the last 2 weeks, hell, it's not being fun anymore.
Don't you have something tomorrow, Conlon?
What? Yeah, it's my anniversary tomorrow.
Oh, that's right, it is. That's right, it is.
Hey, that's
Ah.
something worth celebrating.
It's our anniversary.
I love that Casey's head popped in there for a second.
What?
What are you talking about?
You'll hear it in a minute when it gets to that part in the video, because she's 20 seconds behind over there.
And we can't forget production manager Casey.
Yeah.
Hi.
But that is, I think, everything. So let's let tonight's disaster unfold. So previously on that disaster, the Misfit Warriors traveled through the grasslands of Galandria, finding a tower where some of the Gandits were looking over a field of crops, causing a little bit of mayhem while they were trying to transport stuff to their underground HQ with a Joker's magical dispel magic card. You guys caused a little bit of chaos and then escaped on your way. Knock, going far up into the sky with an elevated sight to even see higher, getting the layout of the land, as well as the feeling of something very druidic coming from the center of the grasslands, where there seemed to be a valley shrouded in mist. And at the same time, seeing the starfall descending slowly into the sky. You guys then just continued following the map that Nock had laid out for you. Nock scouting ahead and going up the hill, feeling that pull even more and being able to attach it to a River's Touch flower. With a little bit of trouble with Hamel getting up the hill and with a lot of encouragement from his teammates, you guys got up the hill, passing by several signs warning of the Valley of First Existence and a bunch of undead and a ghost ship that seemed to appear there. Traveling into the mist, passing by dead, decayed trees, you went into the mist in a different formation, Wet Hands leading the way. Before you guys came over to a rock cliff face, and started to see the stars fall into this area where there seemed to be a ghost ship or some sort of collapse ship with black little flames burning up but never actually burning the ship itself. You were able to see undead scattered across the field, with one undeadish woman on the end of the ship. Instantly seeing a giant owl, a horse, and a paladin man running and ducking behind cover unsuccessfully. She ended up sending a couple of her undead your way. And as soon as that happened, one of the biggest starfalls crashed down on top of a minotaur skeleton in front of the party. Jumping into action, Yamakausi shot straight over and started trying to steal and scoop up some of the stardust. Bracket activated his angelic wings and flew into the battlefield, ready to fight some skeletons.
Showed up like a video game character.
Knock shot off the back of Hamel with their boots of springing and striding, and landed on Vane as she flew into battle. And then Oliver jumped in a bush.
I just hit
This is now my new thing I want animated. Like, of all the things that we've done, every character does exactly what they truly are. As Bracket's like, I'm the hero. If I need to wing it, I'm gonna wing it. Which is essentially all he's doing. He's like, I have no plan beyond jump wall.
And hit with sword.
Yeah, that's it.
Nock flew over to a different area where Starfall had descended, starting to try to collect some of that stardust. This woman on top of the ship, sending her bony, ickered creature down into the captain's quarters to collect some of the stardust that had crashed there, and chasing after Nock and Vane, who swooped out of her sight. Unsuccessfully pulling Vane down with a thorn whip, she then got hit in the head with a barrel that Oliver, jumping out of the bush, shot over at her way. She then, in anger, sent a ogre zombie over in his direction, before chasing after Knock and Vane again, appearing right before them, in the way of the stardust. Knock then, risking an opportunity attack and backing out of her space, swiped. Illyria ended up swiping with a sickle and dealing some damage, while the ogre zombie ran over to Oliver, who then ended up turning into a giant ape and towering over the ogre zombie that had appeared next to them. Unsuccessfully intimidating it because, I mean, it's an undead creature.
Look, he's
It's
using
not
his
really
ult.
scared of much. Yep. Yamakausi defending with wet hands, fighting off a specter in the background. Bracket getting a little bit closer over to comrades, trying to move, almost like get grouped together. Knock shot this undead woman, Illyria, with the Aquan Arc, saying it didn't have to be this way. Knocking her off of the ship, falling, and not getting knocked prone, but falling through the ground just to, on her next turn, float back up. And as Knock was going over to try to grab more of the stardust, Illyria rises up and, in a pissed off manner, starts to cast Watery Sphere over at Knock. As the rest of the Misfits have gathered together. And I have accidentally moved a character off who is not dead. Why are you not on there? Sorry, I'm looking over at the map, but while I'm doing that, Conlon, can you put on the battle map? Because that is where we ended last month's session. Yeah, it actually is only a couple of weeks this time.
I actually don't even know if... Come on, you can do it, computer.
I don't think it was a full month, but
Yeah, it was like 2.5 to 3 weeks.
It was
yeah, 2 or
definitely
3.
probably 2.5 because I think we did it later in the week. I think we did it on a Thursday.
This was probably the best that it's been,
Minus
especially
we
after
missed
the
doing
last break.
any content in between.
Yep. All right. Give me 1 second to pull back up one of the creatures.
That was a little bit of a fail. Is that we've done zero. Like, admittedly, I've been tired. I've been having weird chronic pain issues. So I've been, like, not wanting... That's why I haven't messaged you, Vicky, to go out to get lunch. Is I've been like, half of days,
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
up for it. I just want to be in my house and hide.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So,
Okay.
do we have the battle map up?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Illyria, you are holding out your hand, floating at the front of this ship, and water starts gathering from outside the planks of the ship all around, gathering from the mist floating around you and Knock. And Knock, the water just starts forming around you as you grin at Illyria. Knock and Vane, please roll strength saving throws. And
Alright.
they need to beat your spell save DC.
1 second. I just realized I don't have...
Brian,
They need to
Brian,
beat
Brian, I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, but I can't cast spells in a polymorph form, can I?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think
You're
so.
like super
I
I just
concentrating on
realized
one
that
really
I
hard
didn't
spell.
Yeah, I didn't
have...
think so.
I didn't have Sharpshooter up on D&D.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's been a core aspect of your character the whole
Yeah,
time.
it's like I know that, but yeah. And I know how it works, luckily, which is good.
Mm,
What kind of saving throw? I'm sorry.
strength.
Strength for me and Vane. Okay. Okay. I'll do myself first. Actually, my strength saving throw is not too bad. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. 23 for me. And then Vane.
Sorry, I was muted. Ooh, nice.
Vane rolled an 8.
Ooh, not nice.
Oh, hold on. That was a terrible thing.
8 total, of course.
All right. I need to try to draw a
Actually-
watery spear.
Wait,
Hold on.
before
actually
you tell
both
them,
have
wait,
a
before you
+5.
tell us
That's crazy.
if they passed or failed, Vicky, would you Am I within 60 feet of Vicky and Vane?
Ooh,
Or
you
Knock and
might not
Vane?
be within 60 feet. Where's the button for measuring? Oh, you got it.
Nope, not even close.
Yeah, I'm very
Oh,
sure
well,
that's
there you
over
go.
60 feet from a glance.
This is a huge battlefield.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
You're
fair.
100 feet. If somebody can send Callum a battle map, please.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
All right. So, can you go to Watery Sphere real quick?
Here, you guys get to look at the camera while I get Cal a picture.
Look at the mic, you mean?
Yeah, camera's looking at the mic. I'm doing my best. It's not very
All
good.
right. So,
It's okay.
Knock, you are,
Okay,
as
we're
this
doing this.
watery
Yes.
sphere comes around your form, you're able to
Yeah.
force your way through in any unoccupied space around the sphere.
Okay. So I mean, I don't want to be right on top of the stardust, right? Because it's like hot. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Then
could.
I will.
You don't.
No,
It's a space.
I'm good. In that case, I'll. Oh, I'm moving Vane by accident. I'll go over
are you
here.
doing?
I want to keep
are you
eye
doing?
line with Illyria.
Okay. So, Knock, you get ejected out into the
Yeah.
corner, out falling onto the planks, not prone, but on a knee, and you're able to get up. Vane is
Yeah.
inside, just and stuck inside.
Yeah, is
Watery
she
Sphere does, I believe, damage on the next
hurt?
turn
Yeah.
afterwards.
Oh,
And
okay. Okay, so she's okay right now?
Check
My
Watery
bird's
Sphere
okay?
one more time, babe. On a failed, a creature is restrained by the sphere and is engulfed in water. At the end of each of its turns, they can repeat the saving throw.
Okay, that's good.
Can I ask a clarifying question about the battle map now that I'm looking at it?
No, how dare you? Yes, what's up?
Oh,
Is the blue ring kind of like off to the northeast of us? My moonbeam?
Correct. The one that's by those barrels?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
your
there
moonbeam.
is no.
There's no damage?
I don't
No,
see
it's
any
just
damage.
restraining
I don't think
and
that was the point of it. It was
The
just
point of
to
it is
like.
to restrain
Oh.
them and
Oh,
hold them up.
I thought there was some damage on there. Okay,
No.
well,
Could
so sorry.
potentially
Then
drown
Vane is
you.
just restrained in this watery
Okay,
sphere, just
alright.
The goal is
flapping her
drowning
wings
you
in
long term, because
water.
eventually you need to breathe.
Yeah, Nock doesn't know that though, right? Like,
No,
no.
I don't think you
It
really seen the
doesn't-
spell move.
Yeah.
Happen before it, and you
I
have
don't
seen
think so.
water elementals getting trapped inside of them, and you know
Yeah.
that hurts.
Yeah. Does she look like she's being hurt by it or no? Like,
Vane just looks very
Just looks
confused, like
scared.
startled being
Okay.
stuck in there. Illyria, that's just your action on your turn. Is there anything else you would like to do? You use your movement a little bit. You can say something. Has to be something as a bonus action.
So that's not.
No, that is one action.
Bonus action would be what? What's the difference?
Hit the bonus action right there.
Aha.
And Misty Step, but that is another spell, so you can't do two spells in one turn from there.
Mhm.
So do you want to stay exactly where you are? I think you have 10 feet left of your hover movement.
Yeah, she stays where she is for now.
Okay. All right, moving on into the next one. Oliver,
Yes.
it is your turn. You have
Okay.
this ogre zombie still lurking in front of you.
Yes. Okay, before I make a decision, I have a question.
Yes.
Should I use the giant ape from the new Monsters Manual or the old one? I just want to know which stats to use.
For the most part, let's stick on the 2014 ones, unless it's something that we all talk about and think it's better.
Okay.
We're using the healing version of the newer one that does more health points.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
essentially,
okay.
the DM has determined unless it greatly benefits us,
Yes. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to be sure I used the
we
right
stay
stats.
in old OG 5e.
Okay.
OG.
We're old. We're millennials.
So I am just gonna use a multi attack. I'm gonna make 2 fist attacks.
Okay,
least I know
roll
how
the
to
hit
use
against
L.
the ogre zombie.
All right. So what is his hit? Do I just wait? All right. Wait.
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 What?
Do I just add this? Do I just add the strength modifier?
And it's proficiency bonus. So it has a 2-hit bonus attached to its stat block.
Yeah, do you have the stat block up?
It says proficiency bonus +3.
Well, just look at its 2-hit. Like, look at the attack that it has.
Yeah, look at the bottom of it. It should have its attack, and it should have its plus there.
Why is that not here?
Because it should be in a different tab. It's off to the right at the top. Functions.
I am the worst.
Just
No,
Google
you're
it at this
not.
point.
You're
Okay.
not. There's literal Nazis right now. It's impossible to be the worst if you're normal.
Oh, it wants me to buy the Monster Man.
We're keeping that out of the game. God.
I can't. Everyone has to recognize that part of reality. Fight Nazis. Punch Nazis. It's advice for life.
I can't see the stat block because it wants me to buy the Monsters Manual.
Give me just a second, Andrew.
Wait, go on Roll20. Search Roll20 because it should have the answer, and it should be free.
You're a giant ape, right?
Yes.
It's a +9 to hit.
+9 to hit. Okay, well, yeah. Oh, I'm a fucking... I'm sorry. I am dumb. It's right there, and I just didn't fucking read it. All right.
Damn it, Andrew.
Okay. Ooh, natural 20.
Hey!
It's okay.
It was
He
worth
may have
it.
rolled the intelligence stat badly, but he rolled on the roll well.
That's a nat 20 +9 for a total of 29.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Andrew, that has been your first nat 20 since we have started this this Misfit Warriors chapter. You have not rolled a nat 20 yet.
As Oliver, I have not rolled a nat.
You have not rolled a nat 20 as Oliver.
Oliver's rolls
awesome. Okay.
have a tendency to be like good enough to keep you alive, but like not like magic.
So how much damage?
3d10 +6. So 3d10 doubled +6. Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, wrong die. D10.
Nickelodeon.
If you can lower his health all the way to 0, he won't get a chance to revive himself.
That'll be great.
Yeah, smash that boy's skull in, and then I'm gonna kill apparently a dozen people in front of me. I at least will have the highest kill count in this group.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18, 36 +6. That's 42.
Nice.
Okay, so that's gonna be damn. Okay, that's your first attack.
Yeah, that was
You
just the
just-
first. That was it.
And you see teeth of this ogre just shoot out across the field. Part of its jaw actually just comes off, so it only has the top now.
Okay, second fist attack. Okay, that's 15 +9, 24.
Yeah, its AC is 8.
Okay. All right. Okay. So 10, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 29. 29 damage.
Nice.
It's looking fucking hurt. You clobbered this thing. It's still standing, but okay. Is there anything else? Is your turn?
I don't think so. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think the ape was the best decision here because otherwise, I think that ogre would have probably killed me.
All right. So it goes on to the specters' turns. The one in the northern portion of the map, it is actually going to collect all of the stardust in that section, and then you see it dart inside the ship to the point where it's no longer visible. So let me just move it off the map real quick. All right, and then this specter over here on the corner of the ship near Illyria and Nock is going to finish floating all the way up, and then seeing Illyria holding this bird in the warrior sphere and seeing Nock over there, kind of looks to you for a second just to see like if there's anything you want the specter to do.
The specter has just come up.
Yep, and it's rising and it's looking. It's at that corner of the ship right there. Do you want to go after Knock? Or the bird in the water?
Can I have it do anything I want? Does it have to attack Knock?
It doesn't have to, no.
Can it force her back into this, or them back into the sphere?
That would have to be a strength save or strength check to push against Knock into there. You could definitely try to do that.
Okay, why not?
All right. So Knock, you need to roll a strength check.
Strength check.
Yes.
Okay, that's not as good.
Yes, I can help you with that.
No, you
However,
can't.
could you please specify?
Why is the phone talking to us?
AI is taking over the goddamn world.
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
like how
not-
we
that's
did all
not
that work as
good.
teenagers to make the world a better place
That's
when the AI
that's
came
an
out.
8.
That's an 8?
That's an
Oh
8
my
for
God,
a check,
Vicky.
yeah.
Vicky, the Spectre has a -5 and it rolled a 14, so it got a 9.
Oh.
So this Spectre just comes up and
Oh my
with
god.
all the weak, dead strength it has trying to force into there, Doc, you can feel the cold, dead like life almost trying to suck out of you, and it just pushes, and you
I
are
think-
back inside the watery sphere.
I think it's a little bit of Knock being like grossed out. And like that's kind of like throwing them off their game, and they're just like, you don't have to touch me.
And now you are now stuck inside the watery sphere, and the Spectre's just looking at you through there. All right. After that, it is the ogre zombie's turn. It's a punch you back.
Okay.
It's gonna actually no. It has a morning star, so it's just gonna take its morning star and just swing it up at you. Come on, I need a natural 20. It's not a natural 20, but that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
That is 11 points of bludgeoning damage as this morning star just cracks up against your form.
Okay.
All right. After that, it is the Caprasol's turn.
Oh, okay.
And looking at you, it has the stardust in its form, but it also it also seems to have a little bit of ball of light. And it's going to come over to you, and it's going to just one more time hit its needle into you, and you are going to restore. It's not a potion, but it's this amount, so I'm going to use my potion bottle. You get 6 more hit points back. So you can actually go right here, hit this, hit 6, and then heal. And now your health points is back over to that.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
Clicking
Not a
sounds?
fan.
I don't
I
know.
need
I'm
some
trying to
work.
figure out the sound that this thing makes. It's very weird. I don't know what it should make. We're workshopping that. We're workshopping the sound.
We
All
don't
right.
have any team allocated to workshopping the sound. That's why they're bad. It's just Brian improving.
Okay, all right. Now it is the skeleton's turns, and there is one skeleton in front of Bracket. Bracket. The skeleton is going to swing its short over at you,
I tell him no.
hitting with a 14.
Literally,
Bouncing
no.
Is there any other skeletons on the battlefield? Oh, right over here. Yep, this skeleton over in this corner is going to finish collecting the stardust out of this one, and is going to move it over here and start climbing up the side of the ship, moving towards where the captain's quarter is. After that, top of the initiative, Yamakausi.
Can someone send me an updated map?
I
Oh,
don't
and
think
also,
it's-
hold on. There's one more skeleton attack. I forgot. Bracket, this one moves closer to you. So while you're setting that updated attack, let's see if this guy hits.
I was hoping he was going to forget one of the skeletons near me.
10.
Now, yeah.
Ting, ting.
These guys even like are in a pretty good position where they can all be flanking me eventually, and I'm good still be able to just be like, okay, guys, stop. Okay, you're dead. Leave.
All right, Yamakasi. Around you immediately, there are no threats. Wet hands to your side. You have a rock cliff behind you, the one that you guys were hiding behind initially. You have the giant ape form of Oliver right in front of you fighting an ogre zombie. And then you have Bracket surrounded by 2 skeletons and 3 zombies, but seems to be holding his own. You really can't see Knock anymore.
First order of business, I'm going to use my action to move the moonbeam. I have 60 feet of movement with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to move it diagonally down onto the ogre zombie and then like up, touching, like, I think I might hit Andrew a little bit, but like he also...
Nope, you can make it so it just hits the ogre zombie.
Right, but then I want to sweep it up and kind of like in a backwards 3 shape, hit all of the enemies nearby.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And hold on.
You can go over me. It's not a worry. Remember, I'm resistant to radiant damage.
But it can go around.
Well, I don't want to hit Andrew at all, though, because...
See,
Yeah.
You can move it a
I can handle it. Run right over me. I'll just irk it out.
You said 60 feet is the movement?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 25, 30 would be there, and then 35 would get over to hit the ogre zombie and the first zombie, and then
goes back over.
40, 45, 50.
You can go over me.
55. Yamakasi, would you go over Bracket?
He knows I'm a paladin. Yeah. I'm being attacked by several enemies.
Okay, so yeah, then you were able to get the ogre zombie, 3 zombies, 2 skeletons, and a Bracket.
Okay. And then with the remaining movement, I'm going to move it back towards the main gal.
Well, you're out of movement right now.
Yeah, you're out of movement with the moonbeam.
Okay, well, perfect. So then everybody needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. The ogre zombie gets a 22.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs. Can I do that?
Sure. Wait, is that only on a natural 20?
No.
Oh,
it's
what
just
is it?
a reaction.
It just makes me reroll?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's pocket sand in his eyes.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is a 10.
Excellent. So that's a failure.
All right, and then 3 zombies and 2 skeletons. Skeleton gets 12. Other skeleton gets an unnatural 20.
He's jazzed
so
to be here.
The unnatural 20 is a success. The other one's a failure.
Zombie gets 12. Other zombie gets a 9. Final zombie gets a 13.
Okay, everyone who got lower than a 16 fails.
Okay.
I got a 21.
Okay.
So what's the damage?
Holy shit, got a 20.
20 points of damage?
Yep, 2 10s. It's radiant damage, so if they fall to 0, they just die. And Bracket is resistant, and the one who succeeded takes half.
So I take 5. That's literally nothing. If you kill more than one of these guys, that means I'm fine.
1 zombie poofs. The other zombies got hurt. And then the skeletons, the 2 of them. 1 saved, 1 didn't. 20. 1 skeleton stays alive. The one that is to the side of Bracket there. But the one that was in between Oliver and Bracket, that one perishes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just remember where the moonbeam is right now, and anybody who starts their turn there has to make another con save.
Yeah.
I have it marked on the map now.
Cool. I can't see where it is right now. But then with my movement, I'm gonna move towards the main gal, over towards where they're all collecting stardust and stuff.
What's your total movement?
30.
Which way are you gonna go to get there?
like looping up and around the zombie ogre, but like in such a way that I'm not like getting into combat with it, if that makes sense.
Okay, so
even 5 feet
1,
abreast.
10,
Yeah, I'm like
15,
skirting him, you know?
20, 25, 30. You said you have 30?
I think so.
Okay, and as you run off, Wet Hands is like, matey, you want me to follow?
I think so. Try to see if you can't gather any of the stardust that you see. Like, I think that should be our priority.
I'll go after the one that seems to be going into the ship.
Thank you. Stay safe.
All right, Wet Hands runs over there in the direction of that one.
Okay, so I still have a bonus action. Give me just one quick second. I want to make sure I'm not
Blue thing right there, my Capri
forgetting anything.
Your Capri Soul is this thing, but it's just holding some of the stardust in it.
So it's illuminated. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is stardust that was not claimed yet, right in front of you, between you and the watery sphere.
Can my Capri Soul take what it can hold and like put it somewhere and then come back so it is free to?
Probably.
Okay.
Is anyone hurt?
Like a little bit, but not enough
Yeah.
that it matters for me.
I'm probably the most hurt out of anyone right now, but I'm like fine.
Okay.
Like if we
bonus
get near
action?
each other, give me a little top up, but like
Yeah.
I think I can either send a D6 of healing towards anybody within 60 feet of me, which I don't think Knock is.
Not yet.
But could
No.
get
That's okay.
bracket, and then I think I'm going to use my bonus action to dash and get further closer to Knock.
All right. So 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Cool. All right. So Yamakasi, you're now basically at the midpoint between the two battles.
Okay. I'm gonna so that's all of my stuff, and I used my reaction this round. Did I? Since it's the top of the initiative?
Yeah, you used everything. Action, movement, bonus action.
Well, right, but do I have my reaction still this round?
You regain it on your turn, so you now have it going into the rest of the turn.
Okay. Just in case I need to silvery barbs for what's her face. I don't know the Wraith Lady pirate's name.
Okay.
But anyways, that's the end of my turn.
All right. So
In all fairness, I didn't introduce myself to you, and you guys didn't introduce yourselves to me, so we're all being kind of rude.
yeah.
This is, for all we know, we're in the world's worst misunderstanding, and we could have had a conversation and like, oh yeah, can you get me this, and then I'll give you this. Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
So what's the best way to conjoin people other than shared violence? Bracket and Oliver, on initiative count 20, you guys start seeing the flaming remains of the skeleton minotaur that was struck by the falling star before begin to stir.
Oh
Oh
shit.
shit.
A wind whips up the shattered bones, and the marrow begins to reconnect. The skull, which caved in from the impact, hosts a dark purple sphere that turns the flames the same color. As its body reforms, the head magically floats back up to the top and hovers above the cervical vertebrae. It grabs the great axe in one hand off the ground and forms a great flame blade in the other. And the skull floats off the body and shrieks in Brackett's face, a unique shriek that more sounds like a sonic blast that echoes a burst of energy around you.
Nice.
And a purple glow forms over the body and skull of this creature. And you can see some of the undead in the area around you start glowing the same purple. And
That's just lovely.
right in this
within the
space,
moonbeam?
he does not start in the moonbeam,
Oh fuck.
but right outside the moonbeam. And give me
Damn.
1 second.
I am going to need an updated map on the next turn, I think.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
All right, let me just roll their initiatives real quick.
Oh boy, thanks.
Okay. Let me add them to the initiative count. 1 second. All right. So, following that, did not mean to do that. Bracket, you see the skeletal horse that had been pantomime eating grass this whole time. Its eyes start to glow purple, and it whinnies and cracks its head, and it's going to run over and it's going to charge at you, Bracket. He stole your horse.
Rude.
Well, so the Minotaur stole the horse?
Whatever this conjoined minotaur body and skull that is floating behind it with a purple flame seems to be doing. All the eyes seem to start glowing purple as their forms started glowing purple.
Okay, and that's it. Doesn't look like the magic that Illyria has been using, correct?
No, it does
Okay,
not.
cool.
Illyria's got more of a winter blue, icy white kind of vibe going on. Purple's definitely not her thing.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Bracket, that is a 18 to hit from the warhorse skeleton.
Was it meets it beats it, right?
Yep, we need to get you some armor, buddy. Maybe that was in the loot you didn't get at the last in the last session.
Probably, but I wouldn't want to fight 10 more people and then died within 2 minutes of this combat.
Do it on the way back.
I'd say you could have 2 pouches, and 2 pouches can fill like 2 shoveling turns worth in there, so you can get some yourself. Bracket, that is, what was that? That is 12 points of bludgeoning damage minus 3 because of your feet, so 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yay.
Why do you sound so happy, Conlon?
I just got punched in the face.
Well, Bracket, it's your turn now.
I know. That was my turn next. You just said that on our turns.
Bracket, you need to make a save against Moonbeam.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine.
That's how that works.
Oh, not even a worry. 23.
Your saving throws once you hit level 6 are just like...
As a paladin, it goes, yeah, it's whatever, hit me.
Alright, so that's half damage, so Callum, roll some damage.
3 points of damage. I already halved it.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, as things just start radiantly burning around you, as you are burning radiant energy, it's real radiant where you are right now, Conlon.
I am going to kick. Come on, do the little thingy, computer. There you go. I'm going to kick this skeleton in the face, or at least chest area, away from me.
Alright, so you're going to unarmed strike kick it?
Yeah.
Alright, roll to hit.
Okay, cool. That
Might him
is
with your boot.
18.
That hits. Okay, roll an unarmed strike.
Just 5.
5? Okay. You kick in that skeletal form just collapses
good,
into
thank
bone.
God.
As he does that, oh God, thank God. He says that.
I was like, as long as he moved away and I didn't have to fight him as I stepped away from him, that's all that matters to me.
Oh boy, my escape route. Alright, what do you do next? That was 1 attack. Just so you know, it is the zombies, then Knock and Vane.
Yep.
What you doing, Bracket?
I'm thinking. Give me a sec. Okay. I'm just trying to decide how much opportunity attack I want to give myself and get stuck getting hit with no matter what decision I make.
You could take the disengage action. Couldn't you disengage?
I've already used one of my attacks.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that was the thought I had,
Uneventful.
because that was my other option, was I could have just disengaged, but I was like, getting some of these guys down would be useful long term.
Do you still have any spell slots? Because if you cast Shield of Faith on yourself, you could just give yourself a little bit of AC.
He has Shield of Faith currently on Oliver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then.
Bracket, as you kick the skeleton down and its body falls, you just see that like headless minotaur body glowing purple with the great axe in one hand and flame blade in the other, just staring at you. And then the purple skull seems to be almost like it's about to move away.
I'm not angry about the ponies. He just decided to attack me. So I'm gonna smack this zombie as I begin to
Okay.
fly away with my sword.
Okay, roll a hit.
Okay, so that's an unnatural 20.
Okay, that hits. Roll your damage. Oh, also roll your percentage to see if there's extra
I know.
damage.
I have to get my other die out. I remember how to use my sword. Okay. No extra percentage unless you take 106%. Which you don't. So that's 12 points of slashing damage.
12 points of slashing damage. Okay. As you swipe that zombie, its body does fall. You see it tries to, and then just part of it splits and slumps into the ground.
Okay.
All right,
And then I am going to essentially fly up into the air and jump to about this position.
okay, so
like
you're
as an arc.
So you're going there. So you are getting out of range with the skeletal horse, who is going to attack you.
Yeah, I know I'm going to get 2 attacks of opportunity. I just had to make my decision of how I was going to deal with that problem.
Ooh, the skeletal horse hates you. It just rolled an unnatural 20.
Really upset about it. I just
You
got
take-
here!
You take an
I
11
even-
minus 3, so 8 points of damage from the skeletal horse. And I don't think you're in range of anybody else to get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I think that was...
It's
I had
just
to
the skeletal horse. Alright, so Bracket, move your character where you go.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Flying about there. Up in a slight arc. So I'm doing a back pedal away from the Minotaur dude, because I'm like, I don't want to be next to that.
Fair.
Alright. Next in the initiative, these zombies. Okay, you're on the ground again, Bracket?
Yeah. Maybe I'm hovering
Okay.
slightly above it. I'm not like feet on the ground, but...
The purple thing?
So the ones close to here seem to they might be under the control of this. Their eyes started to glow purple. The ones on
Gotcha.
this side don't seem to have that yet.
Gotcha.
Bracket, this zombie is gonna run over to you and try to make a slam attack, which this will be a miracle if it hits you. That is a 16 to hit.
That does not hit.
I was actually pretty close for something. Alright. This
This makes
zombie...
This makes me really want a reaction to attack back at people. I want that as a feat. I'm sure there's a feat that's for that, but...
Alright, this is zombie over here. It's going to go 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It's going to dash to get this far over here, running over towards it, passing by Wet Hands, who's just like, what the...
He's like, not my problem. That's incorporeal. That's not on the agenda.
Alright, the zombie over here
That's
is
actually what
going
Wet
to
Hands can do
finish.
a lot right now, probably. Everyone's just like, yeah, he's probably part of the crew. We just didn't notice him before.
Alright, 1 second. Alright, this zombie over in the corner to the southeast is going to finish collecting the stardust, then 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. Going to be walking it over into this direction towards the ship. After that,
Andrew're so big.
No, I accidentally clicked on his game. It made you full screen, Andrew.
I couldn't see anyone else. It was just you eating whatever delicious
It's
dessert
Italian
you're
ice.
eating.
It's Italian ice.
Nice.
It's making me want some
right.
yogurt.
Knock, it is your turn.
Okay.
Do they have to choose to make a strength saving throw against Watery Sphere, or do they just automatically?
I mean, am I able to not? Because I went in here, like, I already saved against this and was just, like, pushed back in. Do I have to roll again?
Yeah, can they do it over again? Or
I mean, it's they
technically
can,
speaking, it's like
they can go back.
reinitiated, right?
Yeah, they can go back into it. It's not something that you're in it once, and if you break out of it, you can't go back in again. At the end of each of its turns, a restrained target can repeat the saving throw. Okay, so
would I be restrained from here because I saved?
You are currently restrained because you got forced back into the watery sphere.
You need to be your turn to resist.
Okay. What does the restrained condition do?
How am I limited by this?
What's that do?
Can I snipe people still? Because if I can, I'll just stay in the water ball. It doesn't matter to me.
That's kind of what I'm...
You're just bobbing around.
Your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, and you have disadvantage on dex saving throws.
Okay, that's annoying. My attack rolls, not my spell attack rolls, though, right? Spells would be fine.
It says the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. So it does not specify melee attacks, so it's probably spells too.
That seems lame. Okay.
Well, definitely
normally
ones that require movement would be a problem. Spoken spells might be fine.
Yeah.
Those are usually very weak.
I allow that. Yeah, if it's purely verbal, that'd be perfectly fine. But if it needed somatic movements, you can move, but you're kind of a little bit restrained in there. It's messing with the movement.
It's just like how Kyron had control of Moonbeam when she was like I think she was like in vines, and she was still able to just be like, "Well, at least I'm involved."
Yeah.
Yeah, there is spell I'm thinking of using. It's like, do I want to hit or do I want to talk? That's really the question. I think Knock is going to swap from the Aquanarch to their bow. Like just a little bonus action swap.
Okay.
And then with my action, I'm going to cast message and speak to Illyria.
Okay. What do you say? As you start just hearing this.
If they're casting message, I hear inside my head, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and I can respond to you the same way if I wanted to.
Yes.
Can they breathe right now?
No, they can't breathe.
Okay.
But yeah, you can. Oh, there's no word limit.
It's just it takes a turn, so it's like 6 seconds.
Yeah, you can't tell me you can't read all of the B-movie script, but
oh my god.
I thought there was a word limit like sending, but there's not.
Just speak very fast.
If I tell my capital to do things, does he have to do it on his turn or?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Knock is going to say, how many bags of stardust do we need? 5, right?
6.
6 total?
Yeah, Yamakasi had 1 coming into this, so I believe.
And I have 2 currently total in my inventory.
5 from this battlefield, though, is
yes.
No, I have 2 in my inventory currently. 1 for that we had, and then 1 that I picked up since we've been here. So we need
yes.
More.
I mean from here in general. I'm trying to use it in a way that I can communicate to her.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right.
Stardust have you picked up that you have on your person?
Yes. I have only half of a pouch. But
okay.
Nock is going to say, we only need 5 pouches of the stardust. We need it to stop a disaster from happening in a city far away. The rest is yours. Stop attacking us, please.
Keep attacking on little bits. I'm still in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, Brian hasn't told
Never
me no
respond.
yet.
Okay, so I get to respond or I get to act as well.
Respond.
You can respond mentally.
Yeah, it's not your
this.
turn to act or do
That's how the
anything,
spell-
but because they used message on you, that's part of the spell. You can
Yeah.
react.
Okay, so I think Illyria would say, do you represent your party? How do I know I can trust your word?
I'm literally in charge.
I mean, I can't respond in the spell, but I'll try to speak through the
your
through the
body
water.
language of in charge.
I'll just be like, I'll do my best.
So I
Roll,
feel like shrugging, like
roll a performance
Like,
check. Roll an insight check.
Like, probably.
I haven't gone Ambassador
D20?
Knock their little ambassador
It's gonna be one
Like,
pendant
if
yet.
I can tell them, you know what I mean? I have to be able to.
so to what?
Speak to
What am
them.
I adding the +4 to? Oh, so right.
To your D20 roll. Roll a
Oh,
D20
gotcha,
and add
gotcha.
+4.
I got you.
Performance
Oh,
is
that's not a
not
D20.
my strong suit.
It's D20.
Okay.
You got this.
She rolled
I
a
rolled
D20
well.
and it came up with a 90, and I'm just like, that's not the right dice.
That's not the right dice. I rolled so well for someone who's not good
What
at
was it? I
performance.
think it was cocked because it was in the corner. Hey!
Hey!
So what's that after your insight?
19.
Yo,
Put you 23.
23. What was your performance check?
18.
18. Okay. So with that 18
Yeah.
and your 23, you're excellent at reading lips and expressions. You're able to understand what they're trying to say.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I understand that Knock is basically like, we're gonna do our best.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
kind of like, I'll try. I need to be able to talk to them to do that.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
We did the same
anything else
fucking
for your
thing.
turn?
That's
That
so
was your
sad.
action. Do you have a bonus
That's
action?
my action. I think my bonus action is to swap to my bow, correct?
Oh, yep. Okay, and you
That's
have
how
no
we-
movement,
that's how we
so
roll
you can
that?
make it. If
Yeah.
you want to try to get out of the watery sphere, you can make a strength saving throw.
I think Nock would still want to try to get out of the spear just because I don't like it.
Yeah, you need to breathe.
It's
That's
kinda
fair.
claustrophobic. I don't think anyone wants to go in there.
Yeah. I'm not like, hey, I'm gonna fight you, but I'm also like, I don't want to drown. Man, this dice is really, really good for me today. Strength save, that's a 21.
Wow.
Wow.
Vicky, I'm happy to hear because normally you're just like, that's a 4, that's a 9.
Yeah. My rolls are not usually that good.
All right, Vic, where would you want to get placed?
Okay, so I'm only allowed to pop right out, right?
Yes, 5 feet in any unoccupied space that you can reach. That's unoccupied.
Okay. I'd like to be. I'm gonna be behind Vane because I don't want to be right next to this like little guy that pushed me in.
Okay, so
I want to be.
Spectre, dude.
Oh, I keep moving Vane because
There you
she's
go.
bigger, I think.
all right, so Vane,
just, like,
it goes on to
right-
Vane's turn next.
Right there. Yeah.
Does
Vane.
Vane try to do anything?
I don't think she can take any actions really.
I mean, Vane is the entire size of the watery sphere, so Vane can
Yeah.
technically try to make attacks outside of it,
Yo, I mean, I did
with
just,
disadvantage, but
yeah, but I also just was doing stuff to try to be like, hey, let's stop fighting.
Vane can also
Uh,
use her action to try to break out of the watery sphere, and if it doesn't work, then Vane can
Okay,
still try at the end of
yeah.
the turn. So you get 2
Okay,
tries,
yeah.
basically.
I'll use her action to try to get out. So that'll be it's still a strength save, right?
Yes.
So what would
Okay.
she be doing? Just like kind of like shaking like crazy.
Yeah. That's a 16. Is that enough?
16. Does that beat your spell save DC?
Oh, does it? I have to go to my spell.
Oh, all right. Nope. It's gonna be right there.
No, it does not.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Vane gets to roll again at the end of Vane's turn.
Come on, let my bird free. Let my people go. That 20.
Hey!
That's just
Cool.
a fly straight up.
That's a 25. Yeah, I'm actually gonna have Vane. I was going to have her go up and just kind of out of danger. Because I think sticking with me in this fight has gotten her hurt. So I think Nox.
So Vane is gonna be able to swim her way out through the top and is now shakes the water off from all of her wings and then starts flapping a little bit damp still, but out of the watery sphere. All right, that's the end of Vane's turn.
Can she use movement or no? Because that was at the end of her turn to escape.
That was at the end of her turn.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. All right. So the Minotaur's body. Well, considering that the target it was going for, Bracket, just ran away, and then there's this giant ape that it's right behind.
Andrew!
It's gonna flank with the ogre zombie whose eyes are glowing purple.
Run!
I was gonna fight with you, Colin, and you let me down.
Okay, 1 second.
I'm not sure how strong it is, and I was just like, I honestly do not want to be its direct ire of it just going, thud.
Andrew, that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
How far away am I from the animal, or from these guys?
The
Which
like
guy?
60 feet you ran away to go get stardust. I'll get you a screenshot.
Andrew, you take 12 points of slashing damage and 6 points of fire damage as the magical, like, great axe just slashes across your back, and then it's going to come with a great flame blade attack as well.
I believe you're dropping your polymorph form.
That's
not
a
yet.
19 to hit.
That hits. Not yet, though.
Oh, it has lots of HP.
I have a lot of HP in this form, but it's
We're definitely using it.
Long. At this rate, not for long.
That's 11 points of fire damage.
If you can take out that orc, we're in a good shape. That's all that matters, because then we only have one thing to fight. That's kind of why I dragged the zombie away, was so that way I could fight just the zombie and then run forward, because I'm like, I don't need to fight 4 things at the same time. That sounds unpleasant.
All right, it is Illyria's turn, and then Oliver, you're on deck.
Okay.
Larry, you had that conversation, and then you just saw Nock push their way out the back, and Vane, the giant owl, flying out the top and now hovering above your watery sphere.
So for clarification, Nock has moved farther from me, not closer to me.
Yes, farther. Nock has fallen over there, the opposite side of the watery sphere.
Okay, and Vane's kind of like hovering
Up in
above,
there.
kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
If you did want them back in it, you could move the watery sphere back in their space.
Again?
Yeah, you're able to move it as your action. That would be your action, though.
But then you cannot have a conversation with them.
Weird.
Let's see. Go to watery sphere.
Yep. There it is. Whoop, there it is.
Right there. As an action, you can move the sphere up to 30 feet in a straight line.
So if I use Misty Step, can I take my sphere with me?
The sphere would not move with you.
It would stay in the same area. Okay. Yep. So I would sense the presence of the Minotaur, even though we can't physically see it.
At this moment, yes, I'd say as Nock gets out and you're deciding what to do, you can just suddenly feel a different type of undead presence coming from the other side of the battle.
Does it feel like it would match my energy, if you know what I mean? Or does it feel...
It seems pretty powerful.
Okay. So I think first Illyria would probably look at Nock because they were just engaging in like semi-pleasant conversation and says, I think we have bigger problems right now, and just kind of like points in that direction because
what
she's speaking in Druid because she's been consistently this whole time.
Yeah. Knock probably already had an eye on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like as I was sending you the message. Knock was
And as-
probably like looking and talking to you before.
I would say, Knock, you didn't have an angle on it when you were on the other side. When you were in the watery sphere and talking to her, you could probably feel or sense it. And then when you broke out of the watery sphere, you're finally at an angle where you're looking in that direction, and you can see it over in the distance, slashing into the back of a giant ape. I don't know if you saw Oliver do that, if you were paying attention. And then there's a purple flame skull kind of moving up in the air.
Okay. Yeah, Knock is going to just kind of quickly be like, yeah, let's take care of this thing.
Okay. And then for my action, let's see.
Just so you know, too, your watery sphere is a concentration spell. You're able to drop those at any time if you do want to. And if you cast another spell that's concentration, like that C, then it will cancel out the concentration spell you have currently. You can only concentrate on one spell at a time.
Okay.
And you have 40 feet of movement that you can hover.
So I think Illyria wants to see what's going on over there with whatever the presence is.
Mm-hmm.
But I could drop my sphere, so I can just like kind of...
And the water just dissipates back into the deck of the ship.
Cool.
I don't know if I'm clicking on Vayne or the sphere. Okay, that was me.
I know, Vayne's so big that it's like kind of hard to do anything where she is.
Oh my god, it's like impossible for me to click. Okay.
Just move Vayne and then move that.
There we go.
That's what Vic has to do every
doing.
single time that they move their character. Like, give me a sec. Vayne goes over here. Okay, you there. And then Vayne comes with me. And then
Cool. All right. So you have 40 feet of movement, then your action, and your bonus action.
Okay. So she's going to cast Pass Without a Trace, so that they can move towards whatever it is without being noticed.
Okay.
But before she does that, she's going to turn to her Caprasol and say, Ember Nettle, do your job, and put her hand out for the stardust. He drops the stardust in my hand, I put it in a pouch, and then he turns around and I basically point in the direction of the stardust behind me to basically be like, gather that.
Okay, so you have this stardust now, and has moved over into this one and has started the process of trying to gather this one. All right.
And then what do I have left?
All right. What did you cast again? Pass Without a Trace. All right. So Knock, Vayne, and Illyria, you are affected by this Pass Without a Trace now.
Ooh, okay.
I'm assuming you want them to be involved. You did say so.
Yeah.
Okay.
you can
All
feel
right.
that magical presence.
Okay,
So
cool.
you can't do Misty Step because it's a spell
Yeah,
from there. So you have your movement, which is 40 feet. So you can move 40 feet.
If I move 40 feet, can they move 40 feet with me or no? Because they're affected by my spell.
It'll be on their turn. As long as they're within the radius of your spell, they also have that stealth
Okay,
bonus.
well, Illyria's not really concerned whether or not Knock and Vayne
Knock
come
can just
with her.
stay near
But
her.
she's like, basically like, if you want to come, you know, she basically casts her spell and she just kind of like starts beelining for whatever that presence is over there.
All right, what's the path you want to move? You have 40 feet.
Okay, so what are these little cells? How many feet are each cell?
5.
5, okay. So she's going to... Okay, so I think that she kind of moves across the ship.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
How much more do I have?
You have
40?
10 feet.
Okay, so jump off.
And you're kind of floating in the air over in this direction on a downward descent, or do you want to keep your elevation?
She hovers.
Okay, so
She's not touching the ground right now.
So you're staying about the 30 feet that the deck of the ship is at?
Yep.
Cool. And you're floating over and towards the battle. Yamakawasi, you, as you're in this open space, see for the first time in very clear form this like white, bluish, ghostly-esque woman figure just floating over towards the battlefield.
Okay. Does she look well?
Do you regard Yamakasi? You know, he is the first. You see him as you're over there. He is the one who first went to the stardust that you noticed and stole.
Yeah, she's calmed down a little bit, not much, but she has her eyes on bigger problems. So I think she would honestly just look down and roll her eyes. Like she's not engaging. She's not necessarily going to try to attack or anything. She's on a mission right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
Do
if
I
you're
get
trying,
the sense that she's doing something like? Do I see where she's looking, and can I ascertain that that's the Minotaur?
mm-hmm. Wait, say that again.
Do I get the feeling that she's like more concerned with this Minotaur that just showed up?
Yeah, she seems to be beelining in that direction.
Okay.
Wait,
Um,
also, can they see their companion? Can they see that Nock and Vane are out of the sphere? Like, is that within eyesight or no?
that is where
I'm
the
not
Okay.
facing
Keep that
that
in mind,
direction.
You can see that we have now, like, temporarily at least stopped in being engaged in.
No, and that's exactly where my mind went. Is like I'm
Yeah.
definitely noticing that something shifted, and I might not be fully like up on what's going on, but you're paying attention to something else.
not trying to kill me.
Yeah, and I suddenly have less of a reason to come over and bother you. So like,
Runs all that way. Oh, okay, I guess we're going back.
I know, literally, I'm like, okay, and I'm running suicides. Cool, perfect. I love it.
I'm back right now.
A fitness gram pacer test.
All right, Oliver, it is your turn.
I have a suggestion for you. You should grab one or both of them and just shove their asses into the moonbeam.
I should.
Oh no, you started that.
Oh.
Me.
I was like,
me.
I'm not
Oliver,
even
as a giant ape, could grapple them and shove their asses through it.
That's gonna. Oh fuck! I can't use my multi attack if I do that.
I'd say it's worth it
A
though.
grapple is a replacement for an attack.
Does the orc look to have the purpliness to him?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, dump him in Moonbeam.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And that I will. Wait, the orc or the minotaur?
The orc,
You're
because
doing
then
it.
because he has lower HP right now,
That's fair.
so that just gets rid of the enemy. Even if you lose your wild shape or you lose your polymorph, at least we got rid of that enemy. If you attack the minotaur, they're both gonna hit you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna grapple the orc. I'm gonna grapple
Say
the
that
orc.
again, sorry.
I'm gonna
Actually,
grapple.
I will say though, you probably want to shove him into the moonbeam.
I don't
If
know
you
if,
can,
if he does succeed on the grapple, he could take it and just kind of like
Throw
Yeah.
him into the moonbeam.
gesture into there and then move and then let go. So he kind of
Yeah, he's just throwing him
okay.
into it. I feel like that's reasonable. They're two giant
I don't want
animals.
him to accidentally touch it and snap out of his polymorph.
Okay.
I have enough HP for now.
Well, no, but moonbeam automatically drops shapeshifting, which is what polymorph.
Oh.
That
Okay.
is also cocked. Jesus Christ.
You would know that. You're a wizard.
I have to make a strength check, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's not great.
What is it?
A 13.
13.
Yeah.
You reach out towards its ogre zombie, and as it tries to resist, you just grapple tightly around its arms.
Okay. Okay. I will throw it into the moonbeam.
And you hurl in that direction. And Callum, roll your damage. I'll roll my dex save, but it's probably not going to work out in its favor.
Con save, though.
Con save. Okay. What's the damage?
16.
It takes the full 16 damage, and as its form gets thrown into the moonbeam, it just and you just see its whole form just burn up and evaporate in radiant
Hell
fire.
yeah. That was a good
fucking
choice,
divine
everyone.
Laser beam. I love that. Second attack, do it again with the Minotaur. We'll take some fire damage, but it will be badass to watch.
Why not? Yeah, I'm gonna do the
The
same
bards
thing.
will sing of your
I'm
accomplishments.
gonna do the same thing to the Minotaur.
Okay. All right. Roll
So
a strength check.
You're like, I don't even know this is gonna work. Are you even corporeal?
13.
13.
I rolled really shitty on this grapple check.
28.
Fuck. Okay.
He
Yeah,
threw
even
you
with a
into
nat
Moonbeam?
20, even with a nat 20, I wouldn't have gotten that. Okay.
You grapple onto the side of him, and your hands start to singe, and then it just like pushes back in your direction. You kind of lose balance a little bit, but still holding steady. This thing might be smaller than you, but this thing seems powerful.
Okay.
Anything else with your turn?
No, that's both of my attacks. I can't do anything else.
You could run away.
I could run away. Do I want to run away?
No. No. Opportunity attacks would fuck you up right now.
Also, yeah, this is the ogre that is now dead. Oh, or is this something else? That's something else. Okay. Never mind. All right. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's my turn. That is my
Okay.
turn.
It is the Spectre's turn. The Spectre is going to see Illyria running off. Would you want the Spectre to follow along or do something else on the field?
Can it pick up Stardust for me as well?
Probably, yeah.
Excellent. Send him to another one.
Is there anyone actually left? Because
My Capri Soul is gathering right there. What
So-
about the one that Wet Hands was headed towards?
this one is off because this one's inside the ship.
Mhm.
This one is held by one of your creatures. This one is held by one of your creatures.
Excellent. Okay, so how many pouches worth would you say that is?
The smaller ones seem to be about like a half each. You have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. If Caprasol, you have 4.5 right now in total. No, 2.5 pouches worth.
And there's no more on the playing field, so she has not made her quota. That's problematic. Who else is holding Stardust?
Yamakoshi and Nak.
question.
What was that?
Nothing.
He
Sorry,
heard
what?
quota.
I just wanted to know, what would you do with the Spectre?
I mean, I'm gonna. I don't know. I think she would want the backup right now.
Okay,
Just
you're gonna have the
because of
Spectre
where she,
follow
yeah,
you?
just because of where she's headed to. She's gonna want the Stardust because she needs a certain amount, but
I really, 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 really want to know what she's doing with it.
All right, so the Spectre is behind you, moving in the same direction. By the way,
how much? 4.5?
What do you mean?
4.5 pouches? Clarify.
2.5.
I only have 2.5.
Yes. I was counting because each of the smaller ones was about a certain amount.
Okay.
So
It's like the
the
same
Spectre
exact
also
amount
is
as
affected
how
by
much
Pass
we
Without a
have,
Trace.
too.
Naka's talking and I can't.
Oh, yes?
No, that's just, it's funny because that's exactly how much the entire group of us also has.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we
But
each
that's
need
including
5.
one that we brought with us, to be fair.
Mhm.
So, by the way, if you are approaching this area stealthily, please roll a stealth check and then you can add the +10 for Pass Without a Trace. The Spectre will do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Is what hand's still on my turn? Is that what we're?
14 plus your stealth, which is a 3, 17 plus 10.
Maybe we'll have to double check with
Okay, so they
Brian.
don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, so you
because
were
he helped
moving
you put
quite
the
stealthily in that direction, and the Spectre is
Stardust in your
staying in your
pouch.
wake behind you. That's what that Spectre does. The other Spectre is inside with the Stardust, put it away. It goes on to the Floating Skull's turn. As its turn begins, does anybody speak deep speech?
No.
I doubt it, but I have to ask.
Nox speaks like 8 languages, and that's not one of them.
I was going to say, I speak a bunch of languages, and that is also.
You can hear in this odd sounding that almost sounds like horns or sonic bursts of energy just coming and emanating out of the skull as it's floating up and kind of scanning the battlefield. Those of you in the area, you can see that it kind of seems to have focused for a moment on the ship, and then it looks back over towards the rest of you, and a couple more of these sounds come out as it's out echoing from the actual skull form. And it is going to. So that plane from there. You are going to see it start just going and just shimmering in space as its form begins to blur.
Yay!
I don't like that.
I like it.
Welcome to joining us in combat. Brian is now going to be cruel to all of us.
All right, that is its action from there. And just that. Okay. No, and then it is going to float its entire movement 40 feet more up in the air. So it now stands about 55 feet hovering above the battlefield.
Whereabouts
right.
is
55
this,
feet?
skull?
Yep.
So it's higher than I am.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Floating up.
Where's the skull? Sorry.
This little purple thing.
Okay, cool.
All
Don't
right.
worry, I've got a lot of
What do you
range.
think that skull has to do with?
I don't know.
It's emanating purple, so like, should we be attacking the giant minotaur, or is that a distraction?
I don't know.
That's
kind
what
of
we
the
have to
question.
figure out.
All right. This
Nothing.
minotaur skeleton over here too was climbing up to assist you, but sees you start running in that direction. And it is also going to run in that direction. But give me 1 second, because I apparently didn't pull up skeletal minotaur for all the tabs that are open on my computer right now.
I'm waiting for Brian to just disappear like his feed because he's opened one too many tabs and his RAM has given up.
Yeah, I should probably
Alright.
close all of my other windows, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, before we start this, I may or may not have closed nearly 80 tabs, but let's not talk about having ADHD.
The craziest thing is this skeletal minotaur is going to dash, but stealthily, because it was within the pass without a trace.
What?
10, 15. He's your ally.
Oh, the
20.
good one. Okay.
Like 30.
Yeah, we're stuck. There's 2 of them, so now we're like get to be confused.
Okay. For 5 seconds, I was like, "What do you mean?"
Next time, Brian, you have to say the neutral or good. One of those two. Or
The good skeletal minotaur.
There we go.
And it gets a 22 with the pass without a trace of stealth, so it's moving stealthily on the ground, lumbering on the ground around there. Yamakowski, you can't miss it though, because you're in an open field and you just see the woman floating, a specter coming behind, and then a minotaur skeleton running in that direction as well too.
There's a lot of thudding behind me.
Ogre Zombie is dead. Caprisol is going to use its turn to start collecting more of that stardust. The skeletons. Is there any skeletons left over here? No, but there's this one that's going inside the ship with this stardust. So this one's off the battlefield now too.
Goes without saying that a skeletal minotaur is undead, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
This skeleton is going to move its total action in that direction. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It's trying to get over to support. And top of the initiative, Yamakowski. But before your turn, this skull is going to use a legendary action to to cast Mind Sliver over on you, Bracket.
Oh no.
So, Bracket, I need you to make a intelligence saving throw.
This is my weakest saving throw. Okay. Okay, that's fine then. That is an unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Okay. You save as you feel this psychic energy starting to move around your head, and then you were able to just brush it off
The
with the
skull that's
angelic.
floating away.
Yes. And then you can kind of hear that like foghorn echoing to esque type of sound for a second again, until you can hear in a different voice. You can hear in primordial. Anybody who speaks primordial.
Yep.
So sorry, Bracket looks over in your direction. Such intellectual fortitude. Oh my god, I'm the one with the speech impediment now.
We only share one brain cell, Brian.
Such intellectual fortitude. Tell me, do you serve the Moon Crusher?
What?
Moon Crusher. I hear that, yeah. I hear
That's
that.
what
I hear that.
You
The Moon Crusher.
Yeah, you can hear it. It's pretty echoey in this area here too. Yamakowski, you can
heard
hear
it for
that as well
sure.
too. Do you speak primordial? You do, so you also hear that as well.
Wouldn't I have anyway? Because of other things?
Well, you would have to understand that language, and that's how you understand that language because of
Okay.
those things.
Because also.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and Bracket, you just respond with, huh?
That's literally what I say.
Huh?
Do I have any idea who that is? Any clue?
Roll a history check.
Cool. Thank you.
Can I have
I
a
really
new
cemented
picture
my
of the
mental
map, please?
fortitude there.
That's a 12.
I'm just too dumb to
12.
trick.
You have not heard of the Moon Crusher before.
Ooh.
Only one person on this battlefield has heard of the Moon Crusher.
Yay! I'm about to lie my ass off. Someone send me a current picture of the map.
All right. It's Yamakowski's turn, so get that picture, and then Yamakowski, you see the Illyria and the Spectre and the skeletal Minotaur, the good one, running and floating towards this giant Minotaur, evil one, that just seemed to form with the skull. What are you doing?
I don't have the picture yet, but how far away am I from that one now that I've moved?
The bad one?
Yeah.
You are 60 feet.
All right. Move me with my movement and my action. Or no,
Okay.
movement and bonus action. Sorry.
Yeah, don't use up your action.
You may move through your moonbeam to get there in a direct line of sight.
That's not my favorite, but
Can you do it without doing that?
is that a...
I mean, you have a giant ape in one direction and then a moonbeam right next to it.
Yeah, but that is his ally, and you're allowed to move it within spaces of your allies.
Oh, actually true, because the giant ape is huge, 2 size classes higher than him. So yeah, actually,
as long as if I can just skirt it, that's what I want. I am also going to say to it in Primordial, I am moving as an agent of the Moon Crusher right now. Auntie Icky, a servant of theirs, sent me on this mission to save Zista City. Who are you to impede my progress here? I'm going to wait for him to respond and potentially use my action to attack him twice, depending on his answer.
I'm happy I just hear gibberish and clicks, for fuck's sake.
That's not even that uncommon for Yamakowski, though, so that's pretty...
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm pretty good at those. Okay, hold on. Skills and then persuasion. That is a natural 20 for 25. Love that.
All right, natural 20s for Yamakowski.
Always adding more.
Always adding more. You can hear back it speaks saying, "We are collectors of what the Moon Crusher sends out into the universe. The stardust is the perfect offerings.
Oh, come on.
And on top
The
of that, we
stardust
found
in these planes is mine, and I'm going to attack him.
one other thing it was saying though. Did you just interrupt in the middle of saying that and attack?
I definitely I spoke over him, but I will let him finish before I strike him. You know, like just in case.
Okay. It says that and then says, on top of that, our stolen knowledge on the ship of Zinza.
All right. Well, I'm gonna attack him twice now. I think.
Stolen
Twice,
knowledge
for
on
good
the
measure.
tip of what?
So, how are you attacking the Minotaur's body or the skull that is emanating this voice and floating 55 feet in the air?
His body.
Okay.
The more
Roll it.
pressing it seems of the threats at the moment. Okay, so one of them is a natural 20 for a total of.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, keep rolling
love
that
this new
die.
dice. I'm it's the here. I'll actually show you guys. I bought this as a impulse buy.
Hey, Callum.
It's a roulette wheel
Hey.
on one of the sides. But yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
a-
really cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
That's so neat.
Hey.
So the natural 20 was a total of. Does it matter? Do you need that?
Yes.
Okay, so total of
Stats are high.
30.
What types of damage?
Radiant, slashing, and I think actually just radiant and slashing, but
And some of your
quite a bit of
moms.
both.
Okay, yeah, so it's the full damage. Is it 30 after the nat 20 double?
Oh, that wasn't damage. That was the to hit.
Oh.
That
Oh, the
was a nat
second
20
one.
plus my 10 just for
Sorry.
to hit.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, nat 20 hits. And then the second attack?
The second attack was an 18 total.
That also hits. So roll your damage.
Okay, so for the I'm smiting with both of them, so that's 2 level 1 smites.
Okay.
So the first one,
Oh, he's about to. He's gonna pop off.
Do
first
it.
one is an.
Do it.
Sorry, it's a little challenging to get the freaking roulette to do the thing. So 8 plus 6 is 14. So 14 slashing plus 1d6. 3 radiant just from the regular sword slash. Plus my 2d6 for sneak attack is going to be an extra 5. And then my 3d8s for the smite, right?
Yes. Depending on which
Yeah.
level you're using.
I only have level 1 spell slots right now, so that's
I think
13 more
smite
radiant damage.
at level 1, isn't it just 2d8?
It's 2d8, but it also gets an
Depends.
additional d8 because he's undead.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It depends on class stuff, and there's like multiple factors.
So what's the total damage?
Were you getting all of them before that? Because it was an additional 13 for the smite.
I had 22 and then 13, so 35.
Okay, and then double that.
70 fucking points of damage. Motherfucker.
Well,
Imagine
it's
just one hit the guy.
74 because you don't double my
Fucking awesome.
X bonus.
Jesus Christ. Okay, 74. Okay.
And then my follow-up smite, so my follow-up
That
attack
was one.
starts.
Are you into one hit wonder?
No, I've got 2 attacks.
Well,
You
you're
were
right.
right
It's
over
2
here.
hits. One attack.
So-
one action.
I do have 1 action, but 2 attacks per action. So
yeah, I'm saying a one action wonder because we can't call it one attack wonder because taking 2 attacks at
I
least.
see. I see. 14 points of slashing, and then 6 plus
Math.
what's 15 plus 7?
22.
22.
Okay, so 12 points of hold on. 16 points of slashing damage, and then 22 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
38.
Yeah.
Okay. You just came over here like a fucking freight train.
How is this skull looking?
The skull hasn't got hit yet. The
Oh.
Minotaur was getting hit.
Oh,
The Minotaur
shit.
body, so the body got hit, not the skull.
Okay.
How is it looking?
Skull looks like you started shattering and splintering the marrow.
Nice.
Oh.
Anything else with your turn?
No, I think that's my whole turn.
Nice.
Okay. After that, it is the skeletal horse who's going to turn around
And kick me in
and
the
charge
head.
at Bracket.
The skeletal horse's turn. Hey,
Violent.
my favorite character.
My favorite character, Skeletal Horse.
I can't believe he made my horsies bad. Like, I
That's
didn't
the
involve
real
him in
reason you're
combat on
helping us right
purpose.
now. Is he's like,
Right.
you
Colin.
dare let my horsies betray me? We're not friends anymore. We're not friends.
Conrad, I'm so sorry. That's an 18 to hit with the skeletal horse.
Oh, no.
That
It hit
horse
me the
Skeletal
most-
horse really hates you. That is 12 minus 3, so 9 more points of damage.
This horse hates your guts.
It knows I have a horse already, and it feels jealous for some reason.
Mm.
And then the other horse over here is just going to keep on pantomime eating grass, and all of these ones are pantomime eating grass.
At least the rest of your
Yeah.
horsies are fine.
Incredible
Bracket,
horse act.
It is your turn.
Okay. I am gonna turn that zombie next to me into nothing.
Okay. Roll a hit.
Nat 20.
Oh my god, guys!
Yes.
I was worried it was gonna be a
Wow.
bad roll because it like bounced off of something, and then I looked at it and went, "Oh, never mind."
You can no longer say you don't crit in combat.
This is the first time I think it's happened besides that one cobalt.
You can for funsy roll damage, but I'm pretty sure it's dying. Like,
This dude's just gonna eviscerate. You know,
roll your extra percentage. See if you get the percentage.
nah, it's only 57, so I'll just roll my normal
Okay.
damage. Okay, so that is 7 doubled, so... Sorry, no, 10 doubled, so 20 points of damage.
20? Big 20 total?
Yes, 20 total.
Okay, hold on. There's a chance. It does not survive. No, okay. Just whoosh, one fell swoop, and that zombie just gets sliced in half, and its body slunks to the ground in front of you. It's only one enemy in combat range right now, Conlon.
Hit the horse.
I'm a person with a horse. That will upset me, even though this horse does not like me at all. I don't want Hamel to watch me kill a horse. I feel like
Yeah,
that's...
I said don't hit the horse. That's
Okay.
what I said.
The glowing purple is in your direction.
It's just a horse. It's fine.
literally gonna say, "What the fuck's your problem?" Well,
What do you do?
well, I fly up, but can I use my attack to essentially guard against being struck for the attack of opportunity? As I fly away.
I'm going to say for flair, because I like the idea, I'll allow you to add a little bit extra to your AC. because you can't disengage because you already took one attack
Yeah, exactly.
on there. But the horse is still going to attack you, but you have more to your AC.
Okay, how much more?
Doesn't matter. The horse rolled a 9.
Okay.
So,
I'm
Alright,
out. Fuck this shit.
how high do you fly?
Probably like 20 feet in the air. I'm heading towards the skull that's floating away.
Okay.
I'm so
Because
So,
at this point, I assume he has something to do with this, and I can fly,
So-
and no one else can.
So Conlon, move your character where you're moving to. So you're moving 20 feet up. Are you also moving diagonally?
Yeah, so that'd be about, let's say about here-ish, but 20 feet up.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be heading towards cutting off the skull.
Okay.
I'm taking a winding path to try and cut him off. I
That's
have
the end
no
of your
clue if
turn?
it'll work, because he's probably faster than I am.
That's the end of your turn?
Yeah, it's been really funny. We fight him in the midair, and this combat's been long enough, I'm gonna like drop my radiant soul, and I'm gonna just fucking fall out of the sky.
This zombie is gonna run forward, and it's gonna run right into the moonbeam, and then it's just gonna disappear.
What's it doing? What's it doing?
It was
Is it
running
just
for
that
y'all
dumb?
now. See, it doesn't know. It doesn't know.
Yeah, isn't his intelligence like a -4 or something like that?
It's exactly a -4. Good job, Colin.
Yeah, that's fair.
Literally
That'll do it.
brainless.
You know, that's
All
true.
right.
I forgot
After
about that
that-
part.
It is Nock, Vane, the Minotaur body, and then Illyria.
Okay, I'm going to cast at 2nd level Hail of Thorns and drop Hunter's Mark.
Oh, what?
Oh, Hail of Thorns, you said?
Yeah, Hail of Thorns. And I'm going
Nice.
to yeah, and then I'm going to knock my arrow and shoot at the flaming skull.
You could also use a bonus action to hide because remember you also are affected by the pass without a trace.
I would if
Oh,
Hail of
you use your
Thorns
bonus action
wasn't
from
a
Hail of
bonus
Thorns.
action.
Yep.
Yeah, but thank you.
Okay. All right. So roll to hit.
It's not a priority to
Okay,
hide, not
I'm-
just like fight me, bitch.
So knocked an arrow, and you just see a halo of thorns kind of just circling around the arrow as they hold it back
Towards what?
towards the flaming skull.
Hey.
I'm going to use sharpshooter
Okay.
Solid.
as well. Just really go all in. Because I get 2 attacks now, right? We made that decision. I get
Yes.
2 attacks.
Yep.
Okay.
Knock is 95 feet away from this skull.
Yeah.
That's an easy
So that's
shot. What are you
gonna
talking
be-
about?
I rolled so bad. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my inspiration because that's bullshit.
Not
I'm
allowed.
better than this. I'm better than this. And I am. Okay. Math. 19 plus 6 is 25 to hit.
25 to hit. That does hit. Yes.
Cool. Okay. So this is gonna be a lot of dice. Give me 1 second.
Oh God.
Wait, you just aim for the Minotaur, right?
No, I
skull.
aimed for
The
the flaming
flying
skull.
skull.
Flaming, the
You
flaming
guys deal with
skull.
ground
Flaming
attackers. I can fly.
So-
Eventually, Nock will be flying. And the
So I
ghost
get
lady
2d10.
Illyria, is that the name correct? I don't know. that
Haven't
name.
heard the name yet, but
Ghost lady to bracket currently.
That's all you would know me as at this point.
Yeah.
So the
No
skull
offense.
has to make a dexterity saving throw. Which
Okay.
the save DC is 15.
that is a 15.
Okay. Alright, so it's gonna take half of the Hail of Thorns damage.
Okay.
Is this guy an elemental?
No.
Okay. All right. 1d8.
Was he at one point a humanoid?
I know, right? 1d8 plus 6. Okay, so this is going to be at full. Okay, so 5. So 15 plus 6 is 21 points of
Okay.
damage from just the arrow. And then 2d10. Okay. So I actually rolled the same number twice, which is kind of funny. Okay. Tail of Thorns. Okay, so that's
Our air
just
conditioning
the
turned on and
2d10.
affected the
It's
heat of
so
everything.
yeah, it's so distracting.
Yeah.
I can barely hear.
So it also takes I'm gonna have it for you. It takes an extra 5 damage
Okay.
from the Hail of Thorns.
What type of damage was this?
Hail of Thorns is piercing damage. And
Okay, it's that piercing damage. Oh, is that also is the arrow also piercing damage?
I think
Yeah,
so.
it's an
Yes,
arrow.
yes. It's also piercing damage.
So piercing. Oh, you have magical now. It can overcome resistances. Okay, never
Yep.
mind. I forgot. All right. So yeah, it takes all of that damage. Okay. So one arrow, and then Knock, for the first time, you feel just imbued with the ability to fire 2 arrows
Fire
at
the
rapid
second arrow.
speed.
How is this thing looking? How's it look?
It got embedded into it, but it still seems to be looking pretty good.
Damn. Okay. All right. Do I go for Hunter's Mark again? Is the real question. Or no, not Hunter's Mark. Do I do Sharpshooter again? Yeah, I do.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna do Sharpshooter again. That's what
Gotcha,
I'm thinking
okay.
about.
Risking it for that biscuit, though.
Yeah. Damn, this dice has been weird.
Dice Joe.
It's okay. It's okay. It wouldn't have hit even if I hadn't done Sharpshooter. So.
All right, the second one goes wide.
Yeah. Knock is going to yell out to the Misfits. Ice Ladies, truce, kinda.
Aye, aye, mon capitaine.
Leave her alone.
All right, is that the end of your turn? On to Veins.
Yeah, Vane is going to. Let's see. Are there any purple guys close to Vane? No, right?
Say that one more time.
There's no purple guys anywhere near Vane. So.
No, not anywhere near
Okay.
Vane.
And we discussed that Vane isn't able to collect any stardust, right?
No,
I mean, her feet are free now. She's not
Vane can
carrying
just
it
see
anymore.
in front and slightly down from where she's at. This ichor, bony bat creature thing seems to be sucking the stardust into its bulb underneath its form at the top of the ship.
That's annoying. I think Vane would just kind of hoot at it, like, annoyed. Like, can you share? But then I think, how far away is Vane from the action? Pretty fucking far. I can't even actually do it.
God, my air conditioning turned on, and I can barely hear any of you guys.
Luckily, NVIDIA voice is working, and I can't hear your
Yeah,
air conditioning.
we can't hear shit.
So whatever software is keeping that out, thank you, that software accident.
Okay, Vane is going to fly. She's got 60 feet. So I think what she's going to do is fly over and dash to get close to the flame skull, but not within melee of it right now.
Okay, move Vayne to where Vayne would be.
So I want her like.
Oh my god, is she gonna be right next to Bracket flying in the air?
You know, that would be kind of good. Actually, let me try to get her in a flanking position for him. Actually. So in that case, yeah, since Bracket is flying, I'll have her within melee of this guy.
Okay.
And since she's within melee, I might as well make an attack.
Oh
wait, she had to dash to get there.
I was about to say, how did Vayne get so far?
She can't do that. She can't do that. Sorry, I'm used to Andy. He's so fast.
Okay. All right. So is that the end of Vayne's turn?
Yeah. She's just gonna hoot and fly.
All right. The Minotaur body is now looking down at the foes in front of it and kind of just stomps angrily in that direction. And you can see the purple around it starts to glow as it goes into this almost kind of frenzied like rage.
Oh, great.
Love to hear that.
I'm gonna yell wah at it.
I'm just
Yamakowski, it's going to take a attack with its great axe over in your direction.
Love it.
Natural 20.
That will hit. Yes.
Here comes my natural 20s, guys.
Thanks.
Uh-oh. You just sit there and massacres us in one turn, and we just all go, "Cool, night, guys."
That was fun.
We'll do characters next week.
That is 25 slashing damage and 4 fire damage.
Oof.
Nice.
Oof.
And then it's gonna take its great flame blade and attack you, Andrew.
Ah!
That one is cocked. Andrew.
Please, you crit, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
Silvery barbs. You did not crit.
Oh, okay.
Hey!
Okay.
Damn it, you stole a crit off of my nat 20 counter.
So
Alright, who do you give advantage to?
Wait.
What?
Don't you get... Oh, I have to roll again. Sorry, I was thinking about the thing that you give advantage to when you cancel out a crit.
Oh, I do that as well. I guess, who all is within 60 feet of me?
Which one did you use?
What are you asking?
Oh, it's Silver Bar. Is that an ability of Silver Bars, both of those?
It does. Yeah, it does both of that. I give disadvantage to the person who got the crit, and I give their advantage to somebody else.
You have Oliver, Vayne, and Bracket.
I think I'm going to give the advantage to myself, to be honest.
Okay. All right, so that still hits, though, Andrew, just not a crit.
Yep.
That is 14 points of fire damage as it just burns across your stomach.
Okay.
All right. At the end of that one's turn, it goes on to... 1 second. All right, it goes on to Illyria. It is your turn.
Okay, how many feet away am I from that skull thing?
Okay. You are 70 feet.
Okay. So I could possibly almost make this happen. All right, so question.
Mhm.
Is this, or this?
That's one of your abilities, right?
It's under features and traits.
Let me just see real quick. Face. Where is it?
Right
It's
there.
a bonus action.
So that would be a bonus action.
Yep.
But do I have to use a bonus action as like my second action?
No, you
or
can use it
I
first.
can use it first.
Yep.
Okay. So, and I can use my regular movement before I use that.
Yep.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so my movement is 30 feet, correct?
40 feet.
40
hovering.
feet. Okay, so I would like to go. Illyria goes non-corporeal at this point. She goes 40 feet.
15, 20, and you're getting closer to the skull?
Yep.
25, 30, 35, 40.
Okay, and how many feet am I away from it now?
About 30, hold on, let me just make sure.
Oh, I might not even need to do
30
that.
feet.
Then. Excellent. Okay.
Oh man, I was told to kill the horse in chat. That's fucked up.
Oh my god, the chat said that? Chat!
Kill the horse.
Somebody said that in chat? How dare you, chat?
And that person, don't. They're one of our only viewers. That'd be Twitch streamer
Alright,
3
Illyria.
viewers bans half of his audience.
I used my movement. I can now use my action, my bonus action, and that's it.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So I am going to. I actually don't even need to use this.
There you go.
So I am going. If I use my whip, that's an action, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to use my whip to attempt to wrap around the skull. If I am able to do that, I am going to cast Freedom of the Waves and open a whirlpool underneath the skull.
Okay,
Nice.
it's Freedom of the Waves. What is that, an action? Or
Freedom of the Waves is a spell, and
Okay.
it is a 3rd level spell, I believe.
Okay. The Thorn Whip is an action, and Freedom of the Waves is an action. You can, if you had a bonus action cantrip, if Thorn Whip was, you can do them both, but both of them are an action. So you can only choose one.
Yeah, there's no
Bonus
half-action spells yet.
Bonus. Oh, but I have 2 weapon fighting. What does that mean?
If you had 2 melee weapons in your hand, you'd be able to attack with both and get
All
certain
right.
advantages.
So then, in that case, I will use this.
That one?
Yeah, I can do that, right?
Yeah, and that'll get you 30.
So
feet.
I'm gonna get close to it so that I can use my Freedom of the Waves.
Okay. And
Yep.
what does Freedom of the Waves do?
Okay, so my Freedom of the Waves. La la la. Where are you, beautiful? Okay, so you conjure a deluge of seawater in 50-foot radius. So who's around the? By the way, is Vane
Vane is the
close?
only one within melee.
Okay, but is Vane high enough that she's not going to be affected?
Where does it go?
So within a 10-foot radius, anyone can be affected. So 10-foot tall cylinder centered at point. This water takes the form of a tidal wave, a whirlpool, a water spout, or another form of your choice. So I basically have a hovering whirl underneath the skull to basically try to suck it in. If you succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell, save DC, bludgeoning damage, and fall prone, you can choose a number of creatures equal to your spellcasting mode to automatically succeed. Oh, okay, so I can actually protect.
You can force
yeah.
Vane to actually.
I can protect Vane and just try to suck in the skull.
Okay. All right. So, does it need to come from the ground, or can it start from anywhere?
No, it can start from anywhere. It
Watch
doesn't say.
out.
That is
Watch
awesome.
out.
Okay. All right. So
Knox
it needs to make,
Kiss you.
you
Like,
need to make a strength saving throw. Okay.
keeping an eye out on my companion. Okay, are you flirting?
It's kind of an aggressive spell. I don't hate Vane.
Yeah, that's fair.
Vicky,
We're
I've
inconvenient,
joined-
if anything.
I've joined your club. I rolled a -1.
Aren't I the only other person who's done that?
It does fail. It cannot be knocked prone, but it does.
Wait,
take
mine
your damage.
fails or
No, it failed against
No,
your
no,
spell save DC, so
Gotcha.
it's going to take your damage.
gotcha.
So you need to roll 2d8 damage against it now.
English, show me.
The D, the D8.
It's
so the
like a
diamond.
diamond.
Like these two right here.
Okay.
Hell
And
yeah.
that is 4, and that
I know
is.
it was landed on this though. This isn't anything. Do I roll again? It was on the cat. I get cat.
The cat is probably the highest number. That's probably an 8.
Oh, this is just a unique D4. Wow, I've never seen a D4 like a little like triangle Like,
Ooh.
that's kind of interesting.
That is
So do I roll
cute.
it again?
Yeah,
Or,
I guess
what
that
does
was
that
Roll
not
mean?
another one.
That was
Just
not
give me
the
another one of my
D8.
little mushroom
Here it
dice.
is. There's the D8.
Hey.
Okay, so that's. All right, so it takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage against it. And it does like blast and go over its form. It does not seem to get knocked to the ground, but it does seem to be affected by this burst of water coming out through the bottom of it. And now that water spout just stays.
It's
in
not
that
a spout
space.
though. It's
a whirlpool.
It's a whirlpool. So what
Okay.
happens to it?
It's kind of just in this whirlpool that's kind of just swirling around in it from there. It doesn't say it restrains the creature. They fall prone, but this creature's immune from the prone, so it's kind of just stuck in this space as the water is just swirling around it.
Okay, so there's a whirlpool and a skull in it hovering in the air.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, and you didn't need to use phase step to get over there for your ability. So on this one, you still have your bonus action. Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to use any ability to like teleport anywhere?
Can I get towards the skull?
Yes, it's a 15-foot radius, this whirlpool, though, it said. Or, wait, hold on. It can be up to a 15-foot radius. So how big did you want the whirlpool to be?
Oh, but I can be affected by my whirlpool as well, so I probably shouldn't approach
You can
it.
choose yourself to not be affected. Remember, just like a friendly.
True. Am I allowed to attack it or no?
That was your action to cast the Freedom of the Waves.
Gotcha.
How big did you want the whirlpool to be?
Well, it says it's 10 feet.
10 feet.
10-foot radius, anything within a 10-foot radius, and it says it's like 25 feet tall, I believe.
Okay, so it's going to be like a...
Let me make sure I'm right.
That's sick.
Cool.
Yeah, see, it says Illusion Water, 15 foot. Yeah, because it says it's a 15-foot radius, but then it says that
10 foot
anything
plus.
within 10 feet is affected.
Okay, cool. All right, so that was Illyria's turn.
Mm-hmm.
After Illyria's turn, it is Oliver's turn. But 1 second.
So I have no bonus action, huh? Except for Misty Step.
Uh,
That's a spell, so I can't use that.
yeah. Oliver, you can have your turn.
Okay.
What was he not going to be allowed to? Were you just going to kill him outright?
I am going to use my multi attack and punch the Minotaur.
Okay, roll to hit.
It made it sound like Brian was just going to make a choice and be like, you know what? Actually, I kill Andrew's character.
Never
That's
mind.
the
It's
legendary
not.
That is
Because you're dead.
That's a 16 to hit.
That does hit.
Sick. All right. All right. So yeah, that's 3d10 plus 6. Okay, 6, 12. Wait, is that a 6, 12? 21. 21 on the first. Yeah, on the first attack.
Okay.
Ooh, I hate that. 11.
11 does not hit as your second punch just gets blocked by the flame blade, and you can feel some of the fur start burning.
Poop. Okay.
The ape just says poop.
No,
Poop.
Oop, oop.
I'm just gonna roar in his face.
Hell yeah.
All right. After that, it is the Spectre's
Big
turn,
ass
who can be
teeth.
following as well too.
Can I have the Spectre attack?
As the Spectre approaches and gets in this direction behind you, Illyria, its eyes start to glow purple as it got in the
excellent.
radiance.
No.
Great.
And it's going to use its life.
So bringing my Spectre was not a good plan.
It's going to use its life drain ability against you.
Oh, cool.
That is a 15 to hit. What's your armor class? Oh, it's right there.
14.
Okay, so that does hit. Wait. But as its fist kind of goes into its form, into your form, it doesn't seem to like do anything. It almost just like goes through you, and you don't feel any effect from it. And it just kind of like wails, and its eyes glow purple at you. Now you feel no friendliness or like servitude from this thing. This thing is not yours.
Which one?
The specter that just attacked you from behind.
Which one made me immune?
That one.
Aha.
Cool. All right, and then after that, it is going on to the skull's turn.
Fuck that skull.
Unless you collect for the Moon Crusher, you are no ally. And it's going to just, you see this purple fiery energy just appears in its mouth, and it's going to cast a fireball over at Yamakasi and the ape.
Look, guys.
Oh,
Thanks.
by the way, Yamakasi, I hit you last turn. Can you roll a con
Rip.
save to see if you held concentration on Moonbeam?
Rip.
Am I within whatever distance for bracket?
Bracket, no, he's only 10 feet. He's like 40 feet from you, 35.
I'm also
Alright,
in the
so
air,
my-
so like vertically, it's probably further.
My con save is 14 plus my modifier.
Nothing new.
Okay, that one is good. Can you guys both roll dexterity saving throws?
Yes. Ooh, that's not ideal. All right. So dexterity save. Actually, it's 23.
Okay. Oliver, what's your dex save as a giant ape?
It's a natural 19 plus a 2, so it's a 21.
Hell yeah.
All right, you guys are both going to take 36 halved to 18 points of fire damage.
I thought you were gonna say the 36 was already half, and I was like,
I too clenched every single muscle in my tank, and it was
just
like, oh,
instant
we're dead.
killed 2
Fuck.
characters, and we just have to move on with our combat.
I would still be standing, but that would have
Yeah,
hurt a
but
lot more.
barely. Yeah, it wouldn't
that
have
would-
felt very
that
good.
That would have hurt a lot more.
All right. Okay. All right. So that bursts into flames around both of you guys from there, and the skull is going to move out of the waterfall and move, or the whirlpool, and move 40 feet higher into the air. It is now 95 feet up.
Disrespectful.
All right. That is the end.
Fly that high.
That is the.
Where is my Caprasol right now?
The
He's
Caprasol is still
engorging
collecting
himself.
stardust.
He's still collecting it. We've gone around like twice.
It takes 2 turns. He's only had 1 since you told him to do that. So his second turn is going to do it.
Brian, are you that? What's it called?
What? Am I what?
You're just acting stressed. It was funny.
Oh.
I fucked up the joke by
Turn.
not remembering the name of the creature.
30,
Get better.
40, 45.
I'll need to
50.
know it during
So-
this combat, and maybe
The minute-
one other time ever.
The Minotaur skeleton charged and ran and got to the backside of where Oliver is. It had to use its dash action to do that,
Turn that
but
heat
it now
pad
got into that space.
What's she doing?
And then, let me see. It is then going to use a legendary action at the end of its turn. And it is going to. It's going to have the Minotaur use a great flame blade attack against Oliver. Actually,
Yay.
It doesn't like Yamakausi right now. 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
9 points of fire damage. Can you make another con save?
Yep.
And one before from the fireball if you didn't do it already.
The con save for the fireball is going to be 19 plus 9.
That's good.
And the one for right now is 15 plus 9.
Yeah, you're good. You're holding concentration. Cool. All right. After that, it goes on to the Caprasol, which is going to continue collecting and collecting until it's holding that one more time. And it is now going to move. Knock, you're going to see it's going to float its direction over here. It's heading towards where the undead woman who you made a pact with or at least an agreement with going to.
Can I speak to it as it's flying towards her?
You can try, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say don't get too close or you'll turn like they did and nod towards the specter that got too close to
Would you speak in?
What have I heard?
You
I've
guys
heard
have
Illyria
spoken
speak to
druidic
it.
to each other.
I've heard Illyria speak to it, right?
Yes.
What language has she been speaking?
Druidic.
I would say it in Druidic then.
Okay. It'll kind of turn in your direction and kind of make like some clicking sound for a second and then just seem to like almost settle in place.
And I just do a little nod to it.
All right. After that, it goes on to the skeleton's turn. Wet Hands is long gone inside here already, chasing after the other thing. And this one's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And it's going to be underneath Bracket. That's as far as it can get with its dash action. So it's hovering. It's in the space below Bracket, the skeleton from there. And there's no other one.
Oh, just
The
one
skeleton.
of the skeletons?
There's one skeleton left on the battle map. Yep.
Does he have purple eyes, or is he just normal?
As he ran into this space, his eyes turned purple below you, and he's kind of just clawing up in the direction of where you're at.
Okay.
Then it's going. Let me see. You can see the Minotaur creature at the end of its turn. Just kind of the purple energy around it just kind of like brightens up for a second and then comes back and you can see a couple of its wounds start healing up.
Oh, no, you don't.
Boo!
Healing factors!
Boo!
Even after taking radiant damage?
It's not healing from any undead ability.
Bastard. All right.
It's just healing.
All right, Yamakausi, it is your turn.
All right. I do want to let you know this is the last turn I'm going to be able to like actively participate. I have to go to bed after this. But I would like you guys to just continue to use me as an NPC if you want. I'm not trying to make you guys get off.
It's okay.
So the skull is still floating far above us?
Yes, 95 feet in the air.
All right. Well, then I think I'm going to use my action right away. Actually, first, before any of that, bonus action, I'm going to say the other command word for my sword so that I can gain resistance to fire damage.
Okay. So it swaps over to the different version of the sword now.
Right. And then I'm going to make my 2 attacks at it.
Okay. Roll a hit.
All right. That is a 22 and a 27.
Both of those hit.
Excellent. The first one is... Sorry, hold on. So 11 point of slashing. Do I get sneak attack? Is there anyone within 5 feet of me?
Oliver, but you don't. You can also do it by yourself, regardless. Because
Well,
of
right, but it
who you
has to
are.
be either or. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
You
Okay.
always can give yourself sneak attack, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so the sneak attack is an additional 10 plus an additional 4 for my sword. So far we're at 28 damage, 4 of which is radiant so far, and then I will also pump a smite on it, which will give me another 3d8. $15 more points of radiant damage.
God, I just gotta kill Callum sometimes.
Yep.
Okay, it's still standing, but the wounds it just healed came back with a little bit extra.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so then my second attack, which I think we had established had hit, but I didn't roll yet.
Yep.
Okay.
Remember to
So
move
start off with
moonbeams.
11 magical slashing plus plus 3 radiant plus 3d8. Okay, so that's a total of 28 points of damage.
How do you want to kill it?
Hey.
So like I've just been battering it, and the first attack did like a really large crescent slash down its rib cage.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the like backswing, I pull it back and pierce it through its sternum, and just like it crumples in a ashen heap.
And the bones start to break apart as the purple just fades off of its form and it falls to the ground.
Cool.
All right. So,
I think
anything else
that-
with your turn?
I think that's all I can do.
Well, moonbeam.
I mean, like I have
Can't-
movement.
Can't you move moonbeam with bonus action, or is that an action?
That's an
I
action.
already used my bonus action
I didn't
too,
know
but
if it was an
no,
action or
it was
bonus
an
action.
action.
Okay.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yep. And I am. I'm gonna go to bed, guys. So it
Okay.
was really nice playing with you tonight.
Good
Yeah,
night,
always-
bud.
Nice.
always.
Love you, Cal.
Love you. Dude.
I don't have any more spell slots, so any attacks are just
Oh, so I can
Okay.
kill you easier.
yeah. I do have all of my healing stuff though, so like easier, but not without a fight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. And so at the end of Yamakasi's turn, as the body seems to fall, the skeletal horse charges and is going to attack Andrew's ape.
Mhm.
Good luck, guys.
Good night.
Andrew, that is a 14 to hit.
That hits.
Woo! 13 points of bludgeoning damage as it just beats the back of your knee with hooves, and your knee kind of
Oof.
gives out for a second there.
All right.
All right, Bracket, it is your turn. The flaming skull is getting further and further in the sky.
How far in the sky is he?
95 feet up. Where are you? You were like,
I'm like 20
30.
feet up.
Yeah, you were like 20 feet. Okay.
I cannot do that in a reasonable distance, and eventually I will be dropping this form, and I do not want to end up comically high in the air as a literal block of metal just.
Hey, you have a lot of turns left before that.
That is true, and also as I reach the ground, as long as I have spell slots left, I can just Misty Step and not die.
Yeah.
There's a way to not die.
And Callum will just Yamakasi will just do. Oh wait, he doesn't have any spells. I was gonna say he can do the like thing to share damage with you. All right, what do you do?
Chasing it for me, I'd have to use both my action and all my movement, and I'd still only get 60 feet up, and I'd still be 10 to 15 feet away from it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know. And what,
Bracket's like, shit, I don't have distance attacks, guys.
Yeah, we gotta get you some ranged shit, boy.
I also could go a little farther and, like, use other things to make myself move faster, but then I'd have to drop Shield of Faith.
Oh, there's a specter that seems to be trying to attack this undead woman.
Okay, then I will fly that way and attack the Spectre. There we go. I guess I will have to reassess the battle and realize I can't fly that fast or that far.
Yeah. that's
Oh,
fair.
enemy over there, though.
Yeah, I will fly and I will attack what's attacking Illyria.
The specter.
Spectoire.
Oh, there also is a skeleton directly below you, but that skeleton's not doing anything. It's
Okay,
just
so before I run away, how damaged does he seem?
the skeleton
Yeah.
undamaged. It ran over to the fight from
Okay.
far away.
Then it's not worth the joke of just dropping a long sword on his head and hoping for the best. If you looked already fucked up, I've been like, whatever.
All right.
So I attack the Spectre. That is 26 points. 26 to hit.
Yep, that definitely hits.
Thought so. I heard the rumors about that. And is that... Ooh. That I was news just at the edge. I get 1 extra D4.
Woo!
And know what? I guess I'll pump a smite into it.
Hey. All right.
I just have to find the stats for it.
Depends on the spell slot you're using.
I'm only using it first because I already said I have to maintain my Misty Step if I fall out of the sky.
So, I believe first is 2d8, but like Callum said, it's an undead, so you get an extra d8, so 3d8 on top of it.
Okay.
I need to start adding more hit points to these creatures, God.
No, not when you have 20 of them. That's the point of it being a strategy thing. They all have way too much HP. We're just gonna get mogged like it happened with those wolves, and it won't be a fun combat. It'll just be me unconscious for 3/4 of the episode. And know what? That wasn't fun.
So Yamakasi ended up attacking the Minotaur and slaying the Minotaur's body. It crumpled to the ground with 2 big attacks.
Okay.
The skull is still alive, and Bracket, realizing he can't reach the skull, noticed the specter that was trying to attack you before and just flew over right next to you and is attacking the specter.
Okay,
Epic.
so that is 17 points of slashing damage. Well, sorry.
Okay.
That's not 17, that is -2. So 2 of those points are radiant damage.
Okay.
And then 18 points of radiant damage.
You just fly over, and Illyria, you just turn around and you see the specter attack you for a second. You look up and it shrieks at you, and then this knight just flies up with angelic wings and just and slashes right through the specter, and its form dissipates. Bracket, what do you do as you're right next to this woman for the first time?
Are we good now?
I feel like she doesn't even respond. She just kind of like raises her eyebrows at him and like looks at him kind of like she's the first time she's seeing him up close, and he did just like hook her up, but you know, she's like, huh.
And that probably used most
So
of my
in short,
movement.
no comment.
So I guess that's the rest of my turn because I don't have anything I can use as a bonus action or anything like that that's useful.
Okay. All right, at the end of Bracket's turn, there's no useful zombies left. Okay, so Knock and Vane.
I'm going to for my first attack, I'm going to use my boom arrow. Bonus action boom. Yeah. And then I'm going
Kaboom,
to
boom.
attack the flame skull.
I love that you can be nowhere near the fight, and then
Even if
Yeah.
they go up,
This
because
one-
of how math works, they're not really getting that much further away.
It's like I don't want to risk missing with the
All
boom
right.
arrow though. With
Roll
the
the
boom
hit.
arrow, I'm a little bit more like
Yeah.
this is just a normal shot.
Is it more of a
There's
who it may
more
concern?
payoff. Oh god. It was almost so good. That's a 16. Does that hit?
16 does hit.
Thank God.
You're like,
It
thank
was
God I
on
didn't
a-
do sharpshooter.
It was on a 15 and then it tipped to a 5 and I was like, fuck you. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so 2d8. 2d8 plus 6. Okay. Okay.
Sprockle.
Sprockle.
That's 13 points of damage. I didn't really keep track of which one was the thunder.
Oh, you have magical now, so it's fine.
Oh, cool.
But is there any thunder? What do I have for? Nope, thunder's full.
Cool. Okay. And then I'm going to use my second attack to attack it. This one I'm just gonna.
Bracket, as you're flying there and seeing arrows fly by, you're probably like, "Wow, Nox learned to fire more arrows so quick.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?"
Just a
You
sudden
know what I do
realization.
also have? I don't know what it does anymore. I don't remember, but I'm gonna try it. I have a double arrow that I made.
You
Is it-
tried to make that so it would be two
Yeah.
arrows at once. It's
Yeah.
you don't have your proficiency bonus when you attack with it, but you can try.
Oh, I don't get my proficiency.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's just 3 less. So that's
Yeah, no, but what you
8.
do, that's when you need to do suppressive fire, you know? And you can then fire 4 arrows in one turn, and they're like, there's
Yeah.
like 10 archers over there! They're not very good, but man, quantity!
You know what? I'll use a normal arrow. I don't know. I don't know how that's
Okay.
gonna go.
Roll the
Let's
hit.
do. I want to hit it, so I'm just gonna do normal. I'm gonna do a normal.
I want to hit it.
I got spooked. Oh my god! You gotta be kidding me, dude. That's a 15. Does a
You
15
the
hit?
same die, you
Just
just switch to a different die. It's not gonna save
This
you.
was a different die, dude. This
Oh.
was a different die.
Okay, you
Hey, you
need to go
still
do
hit.
a,
You still hit.
you go do a cleansing ceremony somewhere.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
9 points of damage.
Okay. 9 more points of damage.
To the skull.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
To the skull.
Okay.
Also, just so you know, Sam, I
Mhm.
kept your Caprasol from getting too close to you because I didn't want it to get freaking turned into an enemy. So I
thanks.
talked to
Mhm.
it and I said, "Hey, don't go any closer. You don't want to get turned like that guy."
Aw. Thanks,
Yeah.
buddy.
You're welcome.
not yet, buddy.
Yeah, but like
We haven't discussed our terms of friendship.
listen, you protect my companion, I protect your companion. You know what I mean?
Hey.
He hasn't
All
done
right.
anything to hurt me. He's a cute little weird creepy guy, and I like him.
All right. Anything with Vane's turn?
Yeah, Vane's gonna hit it.
He's gonna hit it.
Yeah, she's gonna hit it with her feet.
Okay. Roll
Let's
the
do
hit.
it.
Where am I?
That's
Right
gonna
here
be-
next to Bracket, and this Spectre is gone, so I can just do that.
How is it? How is her attack bonus so low? Did I misunderstand how to do that? Is it different here?
It's 65 feet above you, Annabelle. 10, 15.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be
30.
plus 6 to
Yes,
hit.
yes.
I've
30, 65.
been doing bad at doing my math. Okay. Okay, 19 to hit.
19 does hit as Vane flies up through the whirlpool and then exposing into the air, getting right next to the skull and just scratching. It's not magical yet from Vane, right?
Shit.
And is it what type of damage is it?
Hers is slashing.
Okay.
I
All
don't.
right, so
I
roll your
don't
damage.
think it's magical though.
Roll your
she gets
damage.
2d6 plus 6. So that's 14. 14 points of
14.
slashing damage. Yeah.
Slashing damage seems to still do a good amount of damage up against it.
Yeah, she just goes whoosh, like both at once, like this.
Okay.
It's
Is that the end of Vane's turn?
yeah, she can only do one attack. She's
Okay.
just a baby.
Before it goes on to Illyria's turns, you're going to see that purple energy just start like emanating off the skull one more time, and the bones start reforming a little bit.
Rude.
Rude indeed.
Okay,
On the
Illyria,
Minotaur?
No.
On the Minotaur?
the skull. The Minotaur is
Oh,
dead,
on
but
the
the skull.
He used the healing on himself instead of on the Minotaur this time, because, we killed that.
Yeah, I didn't know if he could bring it back or not.
So
Maybe.
Illyria, 65 feet and
Has
30
the
feet
skull
over.
attacked us at all yet itself, or it has just controlled other beings to attack us?
It fireballed Yamakowski and Oliver.
Gotcha.
Also,
Okay.
it's
And
clearly
then-
just fucking with us, that way we ignore it, so it can leave.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just trying to-
So
it's
a
definitely
cantrip I
trying to
can
get
use without using a spell slot, or so does that count as an action?
Yes, cantrips are actions, but you don't take up a spell slot. You can use them as many times as you want.
Okay. So
They're basically ways if you run out of spell slots, you still have things that you can do.
she's
so.
getting a little sick of this, so she's going to be a little ballsy. She is going to use Gust Barrier cantrip around herself,
Okay.
and she's going to use her movement, which she should be able to make it all the way to the skull.
40 feet up, are you going to use that bonus action kind of thing to get the extra distance?
Sure.
Cool.
And then
Because your hover is 40 feet, there's 65 feet up over to it.
upward.
Yes,
Okay.
but you can get there if you use that bonus action thing you were talking about earlier.
But I can still use my other action, correct?
Yes, because that would be
Yep.
a bonus action.
Okay. So yes.
All right, you see Illyria start hovering up, and then with a quick gust of wind around, she disappears and then appears above the skull. You're able to get there with 30 feet right above where the skull was.
So she's just
Okay.
gonna kind of slam down on top of it and use her primal savagery to just attack it head on.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Roll the hit. You have to use your spell attack.
Okay, explain that.
That is the one that is going to be running
Can Vane give her flanking for advantage?
that. I mean, Vane's on the side. Illyria would have to go over in that specific spot, but I don't know if that would, because you're not really a team with them yet. So I don't know if you would think to try to flank with Vane or anything like that.
He saved Vane and made sure Vane was safe.
Yeah. I mean,
Would you want to appear above
I
the
wouldn't
skull when
say-
the skull
I
was
would-
moving up, or would you want to move to the side of the skull?
no, I don't think if I have to move to the side, I don't think I involve Vane. I think I'm coming from
From
down
above?
from the top. Plus, I don't think she would want to involve that because she didn't want Vane to necessarily be harmed, but she's not necessarily a team with anyone at the moment. She's just realized that there's a bigger problem, and she's like, all right, here we go. Ah,
That's plus 9, though, right?
yeah.
All right, so what's that in total?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15 hits.
Oh, hell yeah.
So primal savagery.
Mhm.
So that is at your level 2d10 acid damage. So the d10, this one, and this one. 6, and then 9. So that's 15 points of slashing down from atop on this creature. And then as let me see, hold on. Okay. And you just slash down at the top of the skull. You can't see any eyes, but it almost seems like the flame itself kind of looks up in your direction as you slash down from the top. All right, and that's your action and your bonus action and your movement.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can
That's
do
it.
there. Oliver, it is
Yes.
your turn, and the skull is getting higher and higher in the air, and there is one Minotaur skeleton normal that was good, and it turned bad, but isn't super bad, and he's right behind you.
Okay, I'm going to use my ranged attack to rip a boulder out of the ground and throw it at the skull.
Hey, I love it. What's the range on that?
50 to 100 feet.
Okay, so it's
Is it
it's
within range?
95 feet up, so it's
okay.
within
Is it
range,
the
but it's
edge of your ability to
disadvantage.
throw that?
But it's disadvantage.
You are
Yeah.
big at throwing things at people, huh?
What can I say?
That can be a comment you make
He's
later.
learned how to deal with his anger problems.
So disadvantage?
Yes, but you still have a +9 to hit. So
I do. One of them was a natural 20, and I hate that. The other one is
Everybody.
the other one is an unnatural 20.
that does hit. Roll your
Nice.
boulder damage.
Okay, that is 7d6 plus 6.
7d6.
It says 7d6 plus 6.
Jesus
Nice.
fucking Christ! I love how the attack is just called
Dying.
rock.
It's just rock. Yeah,
It's just called rock.
it's literally just rock.
Classy. What an elegant move.
I cast rock.
You're a giant ape,
It's-
that's all you need. All you
It's
need
just
is
like
rock.
that meme about like a barbarian who thinks he's a wizard, so he keeps
Oh my
casting his physical attacks.
Yeah, this is a wizard who thinks he's a barbarian right now.
Yeah.
That's the idea. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, wait, hold on. 18. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Sorry, 33.
33 points of damage.
33.
The skull it hits the form, and Illyria, it almost knocks into you with the force of the rock that just hit, and then the
So
boulder
he's hitting
pieces.
me again?
He didn't hit you. He hit the skull, which kind of like knocked almost in your direction, and then the boulder shards just fall and crash to the ground. All right, Oliver, that's the end of your turn.
Yes, I cannot do anything else.
All right, it is the skull's turn, and as it's looking around at everybody here, looks over in the direction of the one who keeps on sniping from a distance. And give me 1 second. This creature is going to look in your direction, and you can just hear like, in primordial, I don't understand. Who are you all? Why do you defy the Moon Crusher? And then you're going to knock. As it looks over, you can see its eyes flash for a second, and as it looks in your direction. And it's going to use an ability called Mind Thrust, and I need you to roll an intelligence saving throw.
Mind Thrust.
Okay, an intelligence save.
You got this.
That's my worst save.
My faith is with you. I can't do anything to help you. I'm sorry.
That is a 16 total.
16.
Yeah.
That just saves, and takes half damage instead.
Okay, cool. Cool.
You just get this force in your head for a second, and you start getting a nosebleed. You take, after the half, 9 points of psychic damage.
Gross. Okay.
And you're able to shake it off for a second, and then the skull is going to end its turn. Before it ends its turn, though, or after it ends its turn, before it goes on to the next, or actually, hold on, it goes on to the Minotaur Skeleton's turn, so I'll have its turn.
Can
And
I
it's-
answer it? Can I
Yeah.
answer it as it
Yeah.
hits me? I've got like blood coming down my nose. There's a little coming out of my eyes too.
Mhm.
And like my head's blaring.
Ooh,
And I look
real
up
blood
at it.
tears, ice blood tears.
Yeah.
Renee.
And I speak back at it in primordial and I say, "We're the fucking misfits."
And then it begins to knock another arrow, getting ready.
Yeah, basically.
Oliver, the Minotaur skeleton behind you is going to use a great axe attack. Its staff is cocked.
Okay.
That is a 25 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Wow, I was surprised about that.
The giant ape doesn't have a great AC.
I wonder
That
why.
is 24 points of slashing damage.
Oh.
Is that nearing your end?
Getting pretty close. Getting pretty close.
At the end of its turn, it's going to. Oh, hold on, Illyria, you are over here above it now. At the end of its turn, Oliver, you kind of catch this in your eye as you're kind of turning to almost go. You threw the rock and the thing hit you behind, but then it catches your eye. The skull, for a second, there seems to be a like purple portal that kind of just appears over its so like next to it, and it kind of moves through, and it ends up appearing 40 in that direction as it uses some sort of ability coming out of a portal and seems to be moving in that direction now.
I'm
Even
Interesting.
assuming
40,
there's no
40 feet up,
opportunity
so it's now
attacks, right?
135 feet going up in that direction.
Okay.
It seems like it's trying to, at
No.
this point, get away.
No opportunity attacks for that, I'm assuming.
Nope.
Yeah.
After that, it
Yeah.
goes on to the
Bitch.
Capra Soul's turn. It's gonna kind of just like I don't know what's going. It kind of just stays there and just looking around because it doesn't know what to do. Illyria is not kind of directing it for anything. The skeleton is gonna run through through Yamakasi's moonbeam and is going to.
Wait, can I make a comment on my Capra Soul?
Sure.
How far can it move?
It has a. I think what's the movement on this thing? Hold on. It has a 30-foot flying speed.
Okay. I hypothesize that or propose that it was told to stay away and it feels very flustered and overwhelmed and just kind of makes like a little jumpy right into that little water pool over there and just kind of goes dives right in and doesn't come back up. Yeah.
And just dives off the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's actually an entrance into the ship, so it's actually going to go in there. That's actually where one of your specters beforehand
He's
went
just
into
kind of hiding. He's like, I'm out of here. Meow.
All right, so I'll move the dust out as well as your Capra Soul because it's inside the ship right now. The skeleton runs through Moonbeam and gets eviscerated. Yamakasi, I'll text Callum to see what he does for his turn, but I think he sees the situation as pretty well held right now.
Where did Callum go?
He had to leave. He was tired.
Oh, okay.
Or he said they had healing stuff, so probably will use those in the turn. I'll figure out what they want to do. Skeletal Horse is going to attack Oliver again with his attack.
If you get knocked down by a skeletal horse, it'd be so funny.
That's an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're getting knocked down by the skeletal horse. Goddamn, fuck this horse.
12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Still up.
Oh my god.
Next turn, you need to just stoosh the horse. I'm sorry.
And then one more thing. as this thing is trying to fly away. It's going to one more time as it's disappearing, seeing Bracket being the closest. Going to cast Mind Sliver as a legendary action again. Bracket use make a intelligence saving throw.
Okay, 18.
All right, again, one more time, you're able to keep the mental fortitude to protect yourself from taking any sort of physical damage. You flip it off as it's flying away, and Bracket, it is now your turn as you flip it off as it's going away. It is still way too high for you. It is about, I'd say, 60 feet up, so you could get like
I could get to it, but I wouldn't really be able to attack it.
Yeah.
Wait, well.
You could do that in case it moves out of the range, you get an opportunity attack.
That is true.
It'd be kind of worth it, yeah.
Though, give me 1 sec to just check something. Just need that. See.
We gotta get you some throwing weapons.
I have a throwing weapon. Don't worry.
It's called a longsword.
Yeah, it's called a longsword.
They don't call it a longsword for nothing.
It's a long-range sword. I am the person who did write the sword crossbow, so like...
Bracket, so do you use your 60 feet to get right next to it?
I'm going to go up 30 feet. I don't want to waste my action to not attack, but I'm going to get definitely closer.
Okay.
And I am going to throw a long sword at it.
Oh my god. All right. You're not proficient in improvised weapons, right?
No, but this is not the first time I've done this.
Yeah, but you're not proficient in it yet.
I'm working
so
on
you
it.
can just your strength modifier.
Okay. Awesome. 21.
21. Okay, it's an improvised weapon. Throwing that, I'd say it's equivalent to like some sort of like mid-range one. So I'll do 1d6 plus your strength mod.
Can I throw a smite in it?
No, you're not touching it.
Just please. Okay, plus you said plus strength mod?
Yep.
Okay, so that's me 8 points of damage.
Knock, can you roll an attack roll since you were aiming arrow?
Yeah, I can. Just a normal attack with my longbow? Okay.
Yep.
That's a 21.
Bracket and Knock, your combined attacks. How do you want to kill it?
Well,
as we're the fucking misfits. Arrow, throw long sword.
Yeah, you can hear it in the wind.
I think it'd be funny if yours goes like in its mouth and mine goes like right above it in between the eyes.
Yeah.
Ooh, Conlon, your Radiant Soul ability. The extra radiant damage you attack, is it only with melee damage or is it with range too?
Ooh, that is a good question.
God, I know your ability is better than you.
Well, no, it's one of those things. I can just choose a target. So yeah, it's 7 to just a target.
So you just throw the longsword and as it hits, bursts with a few bits of radiant damage, the arrow pierces through, and then the skull crumbles. And as the skull starts falling from the sky, the purple flames do too. And in Primordial, anybody who speaks can kind of hear it kind of like screaming in pain as the flames kind of die out as it falls.
I yell in common, yeah, your mom too.
That's not what I was saying. I don't think they have moms.
Aw.
And as the dust settles, And as Oliver, as you turn around and you're facing down this skeletal minotaur and the skeletal horse, and you're about to lay a beat down, their eyes, the purple disappears, and they kind of get a less aggressive demeanor.
Okay.
And
I
there
have
seems to
Vane
be
grab me my boom arrow.
a calm as we're out of combat for a moment. As you guys are first out of combat, and everything's kind of.
Ryan, how many
what do you
rounds of
do?
combat
Who
was that?
acts first? What?
How many rounds of combat did we just do, or have you not been keeping track? I haven't.
Probably one of the more we've actually done. I'd say it's close to a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Yeah, at least 3/4 of the way through a minute. We had many rounds, actually.
Yeah. Because I'm realizing that things that we've casted are probably going to begin waning. So
Yeah.
I'm going to, as this happens, I'm going to command Hamel to ride underneath me, and I'm going to shuttle myself down onto my horse.
And you land on Hamel, wings still there, but they fade as you kind of like land on top
Well, they
of
kind of,
Hamel.
like you watch movies, angels, like they kind of begin tucking their wings behind them, and then they fade.
All right, Knock. What do you and Vane do?
Vane's gonna grab my boom arrow and bring it back over to me, and then I'm gonna go with her over to Illyria. And
As that's happening, though, that takes a few seconds. Illyria, what do you first do as you see all this chaos ends and you feel your control come back over the remaining skeletal horse and skeletal minotaur right there, and the combat seems to wane.
What's the shiny thing right there? Is that one of my guys?
This guy already made it inside the ship. Sorry, he's also in there.
Get it together.
You have many guys in there with stardust. You definitely have collected the majority of the stardust.
Where am I at now?
You're right here.
No, I need to know if I made my quota. Where am I at with my stardust? Because that would depend on what I would do.
You have 3 pouches.
I have 3 pouches. They have how many pouches?
2.5, I believe.
But you do
Yeah.
not necessarily know
Yeah.
that. You only know
You-
that Knock has a pouch on them.
You needed how many?
5.
we needed
5 more.
well, we
6
needed
total.
6 total. We had one with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so none of us got everything we wanted from this.
Oh.
Doesn't look like
Okay.
it, no.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you've approached me to try to engage in conversation, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on my way to you.
Okay, am I allowed to act?
Yeah, we're out of combat now.
Okay, I
Now-
think that she temporarily blinks out from in front of Knock and she goes to find with her Misty Step. She uses Misty Step to go find her Caprasol really quickly.
Okay. So, Knock, you start approaching
So you're
Illyria.
like, hey, and I'm just like,
You blink and
Yeah.
disappear, and you
Okay.
don't know where she went.
All right.
And you get inside the ship.
I am also going to drop my polymorph form.
Okay.
I'm going to turn back into human
And you-
Oliver.
And you
In that
appear right
case-
next to Yamakasi and also the skeletal horse who has again began pantomime eating grass.
In that case, if she just like dips, I'm gonna just kind of fly up with Vane and see if I can see anything out, and have Vane look out as well and see if I can see any stardust on the horizon or anywhere around the area where we are.
Roll a perception check with advantage because Vane's helping.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You look across the whole field of this valley. A lot of undead bodies and everything scattered across the fields. The mist settles in, but through all the mist, you don't see any more stardust on the field until Vane goes "Whew," and looks up, and you can see a couple more twinkles falling from the sky above.
Okay.
And that is where we will end today's session.
Brian's like, I haven't written this far.
That feels
Have
a
more
little.
past this, but hey, it's 11:20 right
Yeah.
now. We went past midnight last time.
Yeah, we went very late. We went very late
Yeah.
last time.
That
Yeah.
feels
But
like
hey,
a little
we had a
beat of
special
hope.
guest last time. We were excited.
Yes.
We
I'm
were,
still
yes.
excited.
We were.
I'm gonna be honest.
I am also so excited.
All right.
If
Well,
you didn't end it there, one more thing was gonna happen that was kind of rude on her part.
I'm excited because now that the combat's done, it comes down to the role play next session.
Yeah, boy.
And
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with this remaining Starfall and how the Misfits decide to work out this bargain with this mysterious woman for the stardust. How much she needs, how much you need.
Well,
Until
let's just
next
hope
time.
a decent amount more falls.
Yeah, because honestly, like, they don't have anywhere close to what they need, and I haven't made my quota, so at this point it's like, I mean, I'm glad we could team up, but you still have something
Right.
I need.
Yeah, so
Like,
it's one of those, we need to either
my
get way
only
more of that
question is,
together as a
like-
team, or sorry, we're gonna have to kill
That's
each
what
other
I'm
anyways.
My kind of question is like, would she even have enough if she had gotten everything that had fallen here so far?
Yes.
You know,
She would have
Oh,
just
okay.
had enough. Which is
Gotcha.
why she originally, the first session that she played with you guys, the last thing that she said at the end of that to you was that you were trespassing, because she has been planted here for a very long while now, waiting for this to happen. And then all of a sudden this like group of people shows up and they're like fucking snatching up all the stardust, and she's like, oh,
whoa.
I've been planning this operation for fucking decades.
I didn't factor in you fucking misfits.
I live here.
Yeah,
go to hell.
this is technically home now.
You heard for the first time too. You haven't heard their team name, but you heard Nock say in Primordial, "We're the fucking misfits." When the thing asked who they were, so.
Yeah.
But all right, let's wrap things up. I am excited for next session, but I'm more excited for bed
Always.
because I stayed up till 3 a.m. last night finishing writing everything for this
I
session.
didn't sleep last night.
Thanks, bud. Thank you. Love you.
But everybody who came along, including the people who did say to kill those skeletal horses,
So rude.
thank you for coming and viewing. But until the next disaster.
Hey, we didn't have to attack a horse. Good night.
It's okay, Andrew. I'll hit you over the head next session.
Okay.
At least once.
Oh my god!
I feel like that's her petty first reaction.